Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to the podcast where we think we know everything, but really we don't know shit. But what we do know is them boys padded up today. The first practice padded up. So we're going to get into that. Um, Aside from that, as far as like the sports world, it's not a whole lot to talk about. But it will be a fun podcast, and you'll see why I emphasize that word fun in a minute. But the gang is here. We ready to kick it off. Let's go.
You are now rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast, where they think they know everything, but honestly, they don't know shit.
Watch these summer league games and they tell you about these new up-and-coming coaches.
I think we should get rid of every motherfucking owner in Chicago.
Enzo and Caruso both been there around the quarter like your defensive generals.
But they need to get that strong safety who's not scared to hit somebody.
They really don't know shit.
Come closer! Closer. Closer still! Ah! I'm in your living room! Here comes the playoffs game, Pee-wee!
Hi, kids!
What's today's secret word, Pee-wee?
I don't know, Elvis. I was just going to ask Cocky. Conky?
Conky 2000, ready to assist you. Pee-wee.
Good morning, Conky. What's today's secret word?
Today's secret word is
Fun! Today's secret word is fun. Now, you all know what to do whenever anybody says a secret word, right?
scream.
That's right. For the rest of the day, whenever anybody says a secret word, scream as loud as you can. Let's try it. Ready? Hey, kids, how would you guys like to go outside and play with Terry?
That sounds like fun.
That sure was fun.
Could you really go outside and play with Terry?
Sure. That sounds like fun! Out the window! Woo!
I don't know about y'all, but I enjoyed that. Paul Rubens was my dude, man. So shout out to him, man, and R.I.P. Rest in peace, bro. But I grew up with Pee Wee Herman. I enjoyed that. And I really enjoyed the secret word. So guess what that means? That means today on the show, anytime we say fun, I want everybody to put exclamation marks in the chat. And we're going to scream on the screen. Well, we're not going to scream. I'm pretty sure JB and Foulmouth C think they too cool. But I'm gonna scream ah! every time we say the word fun. So don't be a poor sport. Just play along. It'll be fun. Ah! All right, so let's get on with the show, man. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna talk about we don't have a whole lot to talk about like I said earlier. But they did pad up today. And we'll talk about who actually had a good camp today. So let's go ahead and get started with my man, who probably has the foulest mouth in the city. I don't know when he's ever gonna clean his mouth, but let's bring him in. Maybe he'll do it today. I mean, maybe he'll find a way to have fun. All right, yeah, let's bring him in. Foul mouth C. Let me try that again. Foul mouth C.
Hey, what up, bro?
What up, foul mouth?
Hey, you're not gonna really make me do the Pee Wee Herman, even though I did really love Pee Wee Herman, though.
I mean, you're a grown man. I can't make you do nothing, but
Yeah,
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, man, because it's
peace,
all in fun. There you go. Man, how was your weekend, though, man?
Man, it was pretty good. Rest in peace to Paul Rubens. Great personality. Really grew up. Really grew up watching Pee Wee Herman, Big Top Pee Wee, Pee Wee's Playhouse, Pee Wee's Adventure. He was actually in. Many people don't notice that he was actually in Batman Returns.
In who?
Batman Returns.
Batman Returns.
The second Batman with Michael Keaton in it. He played the Penguin's father.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
I had no idea.
later on in the series Gotham, he came back and reprised that role as the Penguin's father.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so when you go watch Batman Returns, and you'll sit up there and see him. It really don't look like him, but it's him as the Penguin's father when it first come on. And also he played in Buffy the Vampire Slayer when everybody remembers like, ooh,
I didn't know that. Wow, man. I didn't know that. Well, I want to make sure I get right on that.
Exactly. But my weekend was great. Hung out with some friends, watched that fight, watched Spence get the shit beat out of him.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, man. Homeboy reflexes was too slow.
He got that head put to bed.
Yeah.
Well,
but outside of that, it was good.
Good, man. I'm glad to hear it, bro. Glad to hear it. So let's get to the second part of the All-Star team, who's usually the first part of the All-Star team, but he had some car issues today, I guess. So he was a little bit late. But let's bring him in. Stat man who knows every single stat from every single team since the 80s and 90s, basketball and football. I got JB. What up, JB?
What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
What up?
Nothing much, man. How's your car?
Nothing was ever wrong with my car, man.
It had to be, man. It had to be. That's the only reason why you're gonna be late for this. You never late.
No, I'm late when those kids don't get picked up on time.
True. I hear you.
Yeah, my car is
Parents make you late. Well, you here. That's all that matters.
True. Would just like, I want to get into some deep things, some things that actually what Skylark just touched about, which I don't care for either, Skylark. But kind of to piggyback off of what Foulmouth just said, my whole monologue was going to be that we do not talk boxing enough. And my God, did Bud Crawford put the foo-fops on Errol Spence. Even made me have to go, and I very seldom go on Facebook or whatever, social media, and, talk mess. But I've told a bunch of people, like, I literally legit watch boxing and love boxing. And I told them, I said, there's nothing Errol Spence is going to be able to do with Terrence Crawford. And he's been waiting. It reminds me of that scene in Rocky 3 where Mr. T was fighting Rocky, and he was like, made me wait, Balboa, made me wait, and just took all that frustration out and just, Errol Spence, no shade. Errol Spence's face was looking like Martin was at the end of that episode when he fought Tommy Hearns.
It was that bad?
Oh my God! If we can get somebody to put a picture of that up, hey,
damn.
Errol Spence was looking like Errol Flynn, you know, like he just bad.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
But I was wondering, I did want to see if Frez is watching, or we can get a word out to Frez Okendo, or if Ice is watching, if Montel Griffin is watching, just to get some, clarity. Because here's the thing now, both of them moving up to 154. That's where Jamal Charlo and what's the name about to clash? Canelo. So yeah, I'm chomping at the bit.
You think Canelo would give Crawford a fight?
At 154, possibly, yeah.
That would be fun. Ah, fun. So the secret.
I get it. I watched it too.
You watched it?
I watched it too. I was a fan of Cowboy Roy. Wasn't that Cowboy Roy or whoever that was?
Who was that in real life?
That was Lawrence Fishburne.
No. Oh yeah, Cowboy Roy. I'm talking about the pirate. You remember the pirate?
Vaguely, but I don't remember who it was. I just remember Lawrence Fishburne had that bogus Jerry curl on, looking like Soul Glow.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Hey, so wait, before we get to that, Skylark, you absolutely right. I want to dip into that. Just give me 1 minute, Skylark. Just give me 1 minute. 1 minute. Let's jump in. T, continue. My monologue is over.
So let's get our other all-star in here. Our man with the Hawk talk, but we ain't gonna talk about no Hawks tonight, man. We ain't talking about no damn Hawks, man. That ain't no fun. Fun. Yeah, that JB, that's exactly what I said you do. Break the tank.
15 minutes in, and now I'm fucking finally on. How about that shit?
At 13. It's 8:13.
I round up. I also caught the fight, but I'm an MMA fan, so I caught the fight Saturday night. Sorry, guys.
Well, clearly you caught the wrong fight, because I heard Poirier and Gaethje was good, but that didn't have anything on Crawford Spence, boy. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I watched the highlights of that fight. That fight was nuts, and I did see that picture of his face. They put it up next to the mask guy with all his screwed up face and everything. Like, it was his face.
Oh, Rocky Dennis, the mask, the old sheriff, yeah.
Old school mask, yes.
Oh, really?
With Eric
his
Stokes
face was messed up, man.
Rocky Dennis, yeah.
Yeah, his face was messed up. I'm gonna have to see if I could kind of sneak and get a picture.
Look, I wish we could throw some highlights in there. Hey, Ma, I wish we could throw some highlights in there because, like I said, I just feel we don't talk boxing enough, but there's a lot of boxing fans out there that, share the same sentiment. And, bro, when I tell you that I watched, that was the best 84.99 plus tax I think I've spent in a long time, because Terrence Crawford, Bud, went to work.
That was a good fight. That was definitely a good fight. But yeah, I'm more of an MMA guy. I caught the MMA fight. I wasn't buying 2 pay-per-views. Shit. And I'm gonna give a non-shout out to Hulu, because if you're gonna freaking make us pay $80 to freaking stream an MMA fight, but it starts at 9 and your dumbasses started streaming at midnight.
What?
What the fuck was the point of paying? And they refused to give back refunds either. Refused. They did not start streaming until midnight.
Well, I see what grinds your gears, Frank.
Yeah. That should be a good segment right there.
You didn't have
my gears. I wish I can do the.
You didn't have any fun.
I'll do it.
Damn, Foul, you do that pretty good, man.
Hey, but I know who did have fun today. The Bears, man, they had a padded up practice today, their first padded up practice. And from what I read, Jaquan Brisker was looking really good.
There's a whole article about him and how good he was looking.
Really? A whole article on what?
How Brisker was looking, just today and his whole training camp thus far, saying that they've already seen him take that next leap. Absolutely.
Oh,
wow. I'll share it with you guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, Diamond, just to give you a heads up, that was not the pay-per-view Saturday. That's on November or on the 11th is the John Jones Stipe fight. Just give you a heads up. They did not fight this Saturday.
So Jaquan Brisker.
Oh, that freaking interception, man. That was sick.
So it looks like, and it has looked like, he would be the perfect complement to Eddie Jackson. Yeah, I said it. Eddie Jackson wasn't terrible last season. He wasn't terrible. You know,
he was better than not terrible.
A lot of people would disagree with my statement and say that he was better than not terrible. Y'all can say that, but I got a bone to pick with Eddie. I got a bone to pick with EJ. I'm sure he doesn't give a fuck that I do, but I do. But he wasn't terrible. So we have Eddie Jackson not being terrible. Then we have Jaquan Brisker making this leap. So does that mean that the secondary is going to be that much better this season?
I mean, I think they were pretty special last season. Considering
secondary was pretty damn good.
Jaquan Brisker had the most tackles on the team.
Sacks
does that make them spectacular? Well,
I didn't think he had the most tackles, did he? Sanborn, I think, finished with the most tackles. I thought he finished.
No, Jaquan had the most sacks.
He had the most sacks, that's embarrassing too.
Sacks.
Yeah, that's embarrassing too. Good for him, but embarrassing.
So yeah, it is. Where your last line of defense has the most sacks in the damn season.
He finished third on the team in tackles too. He was third on the team in tackles. That's embarrassing too, to have your free safety third on tackles.
He was third in tackles.
I'm pretty sure he was. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm pretty sure he was third in tackles.
Okay. So yeah,
I just sent that in the link for you guys to take a look at, and if we can pop it up, that'll be great. But I want to address T. What did you have going on?
What do you mean?
For the show, because I wanted to, the chat is going off the chain right now, and I wanted to hit some of them guys up real quick.
Hey, you could do that. I was just talking about the secondary. Do you see the secondary making that big of a leap this season when you have Eddie Jackson, who wasn't terrible last season,
right?
And you have Jaquan Brisker making a big jump. And that's just in training camp.
Well, here's the thing. Everything starts in training camp first and foremost. We know that. Right. Too many times we've seen people look great in the underwear Olympics, and then they get to training camp and they're like, wait, this is a bum. And then we're like, well, they haven't even played a game yet. So now we got to flip the script and say, hey, at least they're looking good in training camp. Let's see if it translates onto the regular field.
Okay.
Right. But don't forget that secondary also added Curtis Clay. That secondary.
Damn, Curtis.
That secondary also added Terrell Smith, from Miami. Like them guys, like I'm looking at the Bears secondary being more. Last year they were, a little better than formidable. This year I think they're gonna be good. Hey Harry the Greek.
What's up, man? You had to rub it in that you in Florida, huh? That's how we got some nice weather today. For the last couple days, actually.
And then don't forget, I said Terrell Smith. I was talking about Tyreek Stevenson. I'm sorry.
We kind of understood that.
We got Terrell Smith in the later rounds, but Tyreek Stevenson is going to be a problem. Which I hope that they're not looking at signing him and not re-signing Jalen Johnson. I would like a trio of Jalen Johnson, Tyreek Stevenson, and Kyler Gordon. I would like that trio somehow to stay intact for the next few years. But man, okay, hold on. The chat is jumping. Y'all see this? Let's get back up. Let's get back up.
We would love for Jalen Johnson to play like.
He's a shutdown corner that just doesn't get interceptions.
We need, but
right.
His rookie season. Corner. Or his second season, rookie season or second season, last season.
No, this is Jalen Johnson's
last season.
This is third season.
Third or fourth.
not as good as the season before. I'm not saying
I'll admit that. I mean, he was a lot better the year before, but he was still
Yeah.
he started off very, very strong this year, even better than last year. But then he started hitting the injury bug again, and
yeah,
He
we
did.
just want to see him a little. We just want to see
stay
him
healthy.
fully healthy,
fully healthy and a little more
and
polished.
playing like he was playing before.
And I mean, but this is this thing when we're talking about that though, like, and as much as I would still like him to stay as long as the price is right, price is right. But the key thing with this is our other safety our other corner that we drafted is looking damn good in training camp too.
He is.
All right. And I wouldn't overpay for Jalen Johnson if he's going to want too much, because in my opinion, I'd still like to see my guy Kyler Gordon back on the outside too, because I think he's better on the outside. I still think he's going to be very strong this year as nickel because he had a full off season to actually train at nickel. And he also is looking extremely athletic, they're saying, in training camp, making those jump leaps. He's not getting too many picks, but he's batting down a lot of balls. But again, we're very early in training camp. We got to see this stuff all through preseason too.
Well, I mean, I just don't want to jump to conclusions. Like I said, right now, let the season play. Let them at least play some of the season, and then we get to talking them as far as extension. I'm not going to go talk about whether rookie's looking good because, hell, it's training camp. I got to see what he's going to do against other wide receivers that they play against. I'm not going to jump the gun and sit up there and say, oh, well, this rookie's playing good, and they're talking about this rookie. Because right now, that's what the media's job to do, is to hype up players. Some players they're going to bring down, some players they're going to overhype, some they're not. So that's their job, to sit up there and do that. But right now, I just much rather wait. Do I think Jalen Johnson is a good DB? Yes, I think he's a very good DB. He's not the type that's going to sit up there and get you 7, 8, 9, 10 interceptions. He's not going to do that. He may get you 1, 2, 3. But as long as he is a tackler and he's got good coverage skills, turnovers going to come. I mean, shit, when you come to think about it, you already got 2 ball-hawking ass safeties back there.
Yeah. And you think about it last year, too. They really avoided him last year. Like, I mean, he was one of the corners that had the fewest balls thrown to him, and because they were picking on Bill Moore like he was nothing. So that was another reason why statistically he did not look that great last year. But still, if you're going to try to avoid, that means you're literally having a system to avoid throwing it to him. And now we got a Vildor out of corner on this side, on the other side, which is extremely going to help too. And podcast mom, she put it in the chat. Come on.
I didn't even scroll down yet because it keeps popping up new comments. But like I said, I'm really stuck. I want to hit Skylark's 2 comments and then just go all the way down.
We already know you do, because if it's anything bashing the coaching staff, we know
it's not about the bash. It's about
get his fucking rocks off.
It's very telling. It's very telling.
He loves to have fun talking about the coaches.
So scroll back up, somebody, and put Skylark's 2 comments on.
You got a lot of comments already to go.
That's what I said. The chat is on fire already. Let's get into it. Let's do it. It starts off with "Don't like Eberflus's press conference." Keep going.
I'm gonna start off before that. I'm gonna start off before that. So I can give a rat's ass about Eberflus's press conference.
We didn't acknowledge it, but a lot of people do. Nope, one more, and then we'll get to that one. So it starts off by saying, "Don't like Eberflus's press conference. Running the ball has been the Chicago way," he said. Not happy in hearing that, because now that goes back to that 65-35 that we were talking about that Getsy wanted to do, running the ball, as opposed to, Justin elevating his stock as a passer. And then the next one, Eberflus hired Getsy, and Getsy, who was known for running the ball, of course, that's the reason why they hired him. Like all the past Bears defensive coaches as well as head coaches are always about run game and more defense. And Skylark, you are absolutely 1,000% correct. The problem is we've been waiting for the last 2 quarterbacks, 2 first-round picks at quarterbacks for us to be brought into this new, generation of passing. We still haven't seen it. The great Matt Nagy didn't even throw the ball like we thought he should. because the boy couldn't throw past two. Right, swear jar. Sorry, Mitch
You haven't
really
said
couldn't
his
throw,
name in a while. That jar's
throw
been
past
empty.
a couple of yards. And I feel like how Skylark is feeling, to be honest with you, because what's the point of having Justin if you're just going to have him run the ball, and then you're going to have two other running backs running the ball, and then you're going to have all these dynamic receivers like a DJ Moore, like a Donnell Mooney, who's been looking really, really good in training camp, if you're not going to give him the ball. It's like, let's get out of the Stone Age, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just because Chicago was known for defense running the ball. Guess what? You got teams that play defense, run the ball, and pass the ball. Why not be one of them?
I want to follow up on this as well.
Yeah.
Other than Sean Payton, who actually tells the truth in their press conferences?
Mike Tomlin for sure, for damn sure.
Okay, I'll give you Tomlin too, because he doesn't give a shit.
And McVay, I like McVay's press conference because he holds his team to the fire.
The only thing I'm saying, if he's going to come out and say, Fields is going to throw the ball for 400 yards in Week 1 versus Green Bay, I don't want to hear that either. I don't want to hear what you're planning on doing. I just want you to go out and freaking do it. Like, if he goes out Week 1 and Fields has 100 yards rushing, 100 yards passing, and we lose, regardless, win or lose, I don't give a shit. I'm not going to be happy. But with that 100 yards passing, Fields only threw the ball 12 times. Then I'm not going to be happy. Because like how you said, JB, and I agree with you on that one, you just went out and got Justin Fields weapons. There's no reasons why you shouldn't be utilizing those weapons now. And you went out and got phenomenal pass blocking defenders. You worked on Braxton Jones all offseason with his pass coverage at offensive line. So I'm not going to judge that off of his first training camp press conference, because we also we have 3 running backs, 3 pretty damn good running backs. I'm not going to say any elite running backs, but we got 3 pretty damn good running backs. We still want you to utilize the run game, but I would like to see a 60-40 passing and 40 running. I want him to pass the board more than running, but I still don't want them, because this is the first year when you actually got him weapons. I don't want him to open it up and have Fields throw 40 times a game. I don't want that either, because that's a little scary. At least Week 1, I don't want that.
Why is this? I'm just curious. Why is it scary to you?
Because I guess, Fields might be a little bit different when it comes down to this, but I also go, if he throws the ball 40 times and throws 5 interceptions, I don't want confidence being destroyed Week 1 of the season. I want you still going out. I want you still going out to win. That's all that matters, is you want to win, but you're not putting your quarterback in a position where he's going to fail. That's what I don't want either. Wow. I don't – Justin – you think about it. I don't want him to be Cam Newton. Does Jalen Hurts throw the ball 40 times a game?
There's very few quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly. There isn't quarterbacks out there who throw the ball 40 times.
If you're throwing the ball 40
times, that's an extreme case,
But do I want him to throw at least 25 at the least? Yes, absolutely. But I also want him to be able to throw the ball.
So check this out, guys. Last night I was at Bridges Scoreboard in Griffith, Indiana.
How are those KFC wings, by the way?
Those wings, they're okay. They're okay. They're not bad. They're not terrible. I'll say that. They're not terrible. But anyway, so I was out there, and Olin Kreutz did a podcast with, shout out to my guy, our guy, Brandon Trax Hyatt, who had the podcast, Chicago Sports Podcast, and he had Olin Kreutz on. But Olin said something really interesting to me, and I wanted to ask him, what did he mean by that? But he said that it seems like the Bears are drafting like they're going to lose Justin.
Wow.
I would love to have him on the show.
Yeah,
actually, for him to elaborate.
Well, that is the plan, to have him on the show, and I would love to ask him exactly what did he mean by that. So I'm thinking about the Bears draft picks. Okay, offensive line. That doesn't seem like
you got the best offensive tackle in the draft.
Running back, okay, well, perhaps, but we need running backs, right?
Yeah.
So
It's still Chicago.
and then we have wide receivers that would be weapons for Justin. So
deep guys like DJ Moore too.
So I'm trying to figure it out. What did he mean by that? Do you all have any idea what he could have meant?
I really don't.
Nah, I mean, I really don't get it because, I mean,
like
if he's
you
just
said,
talking about all their high draft picks have all been like somewhat defensive, then I see what he's saying with that. But, you know, even if you were to sit up there and think about losing Justin, let's just say hypothetically, you know, you still got to receive in DJ Moore, whatever rookie quarterback that you'll bring in. You know, DJ Moore is going to be another year older. You know, another year lost on his contract. So I don't know if they're necessarily bringing anybody into, well, I mean, basically drafting people and bringing people in like Justin's going to leave. I can't really see it because if that was the case, shit, you could have just set up there and not bring in no weapons this year. I mean, you wouldn't have needed a DJ Moore. You wouldn't have brought in, you know, drafted a Tyler Scott. You wouldn't have got a Darnell Wright.
So go back to that, though, and dig a little deeper in what he's saying. Is he saying they're preparing to lose Justin because Justin doesn't want to resign, like they're hearing some inside, Olin's hearing some inside rumblings or something? Or is he saying because of the way the offense is structured, Justin is like, I didn't come here to run the ball.
That'd be a good point to say maybe like
yards, you know, I need to go and because like even like you were saying, Frank, if the projection was if Jalen Hurts did not get hurt and play those last 3 games, or the 3 games he missed, he would have finished with over 4,000 yards passing and 1,000 yards rushing. He would have been the first quarterback to ever do it. He finished with 3,700 yards passing and over 700 yards rushing. 20-something passing touchdowns, like 13, 14 rushing touchdowns, right? So with that being said, if you translate that portion into what Justin is going to do, I consider that a successful season. But if Olin is giving us some, you know, some locker room talk, possibly
I like it.
In the shadows, you know. But
I like what you said as far as like is he saying like the way the offense is structured is not good for somebody like Justin? It's better for somebody else, but
I mean,
yeah, it's still freaking mind blowing to think about that right now.
But think of it like this, right? I look at a team like Tennessee, where you're run heavy, and Ryan Tannehill has become more of a game manager.
Mm-hmm.
But then even they go out and get him a top weapon in DeAndre Hopkins. You see what I'm saying? It's like even a run heavy team has to get value at the wide receiver, right at the wide receiver position. So even if the Bears want to be this vaunted running team, hell, our polls and Eberflus and Getty even on the same page because you just went and got DJ Moore. Like, what's the point of getting DJ Moore if you're not going to throw him the ball?
DJ Moore needs the ball.
Absolutely.
What's the point of getting Tyler Scott if you're not going to let him blow the roof off?
Yeah, there's no
and that's another one who's been blowing the roof off in training.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So,
right.
I would love, you know, because Olin did say he watched the show, I believe you said, T. So if Olin comes on, or not if, but when Olin comes on, I would love to, you know, address that question. We'll table it for now. But that is kind of telling because now I am looking at a situation where if Justin is progressing, and maybe our guy Herb Howard can give us a little insight, maybe we can get him on soon enough to converse with him. But it's something to be said about having a quarterback that can throw the ball, but you choose not to throw the ball, as opposed to having a quarterback that you know can run the ball and you're going to get him hurt. Frank, you said you don't want to put him in a position to where he's throwing 40 times and kill his confidence. I don't want to put him in a position where he's running 20 times.
That's why I want a balanced offense. Yeah. I want a balanced offense. That's what I want. That's something we never got out of Matt Nagy. We never got – I don't even know the last time we had a balanced fucking offense.
Well, I don't think that you sit up there and you go
85.
No, it was think about it. It was the couple of years.
Probably was even the 90s with Harbaugh.
Yeah,
it was probably
because Cutler had like 37, 38
the Bears
yards.
went to the Super Bowl in 06.
Well, no, even after that, because remember
they
season Cutler had over Cutler had over 3,000 plus yards passing.
And you had a great Forte.
Yeah, Matt Forte had over 1,000 yards rushing. One season he had 120, 111 catches or something like that. Like, there's been times to where the offense was more balanced, right? Mm-hmm. But this time,
consistency though,
you have. I know Foul Mouth probably not going to agree with me on this, but I'll take it. To me, you have Justin Fields, who's like a Ferrari, right? But Getsy and Eberflus are driving him like he's a Winnebago. Like, let him be the Ferrari. Open him up. Let him go ahead and pass the ball over the field. Let him throw the ball 30 times. Let him get his Pat Mahomes on. It's okay. Because if he's proven that he can do it, why would you not want that?
And I agree with you to like an extent on that one, but last year he was a Ferrari without an engine because he had no weapons, and you're not going anywhere without a freaking engine, no matter how nice the car looks. This year you got weapons to build that engine. So I agree. I don't want like him going for 50 passes in week 1. I want him progressing. That's what I want. But I want him passing the freaking ball.
I don't want him to be hindered by our own restraints.
Yeah.
Remember, the last time he was allowed to let loose was against a pretty good Pittsburgh Steelers defense, and the man threw for 291 yards and was one drop pass from having a 300-yard game that day. One drop pass from having a 300-yard game, first of his career, against a Pittsburgh defense who Mike Tomlin prides himself on his defense and his strategies in this scheme.
I'm not really worried. I mean, like we gotta come on, man. We gotta put this shit into perspective. Right now, this shit is early part of fucking training camp. If you think for 1 second that they're gonna sit up here and come into the season and run Justin Fields 20-25 times with 3 fucking pretty good running backs, you know what I'm saying? 2 pretty good tight ends. And 3 pretty good wide receivers. You crazy. I think it's just shit to sit up there to, you know what I'm saying, put some shit out there, make teams think that's what they're going to do. I mean, when we're sitting up here, when we're looking or hearing about the Chicago Bears doing training camp, all we hear about Justin Fields passing to this person, Justin Fields passing to that person, this wide receiver's doing this wide receiver's doing that. You know, they're going to let the man let him pass. He said he has every intention on sitting up there breaking or trying to get at least 4,000 yards, breaking the Chicago Bears record.
He's running his own
I don't
plays.
think he's going to sit up there and say that unless he definitely knows that they're going to let him open it up. And I believe they are going to let him open it up. I'm not going to sit up there and jump down Lou Getsy for last year because for the simple fact, what you want him to fucking do. You want him to sit up there and have Justin Fields drop back 40 times and get his ass put into a fucking hospital. You want him to look like Spence? Because that's what the fuck would have happened if you set up there and dropped his ass back 40 times, getting his ass tattooed. He would have had a tattoo of some other team's fucking helmet on his fucking back.
Our team was second in the NFL last year in drop passes, and we had the fewest passes amongst any team in the NFL.
Yeah, we had the fewest attempts in the NFL. In the modern day, we had the fewest passes.
Fewest passes and
that's crazy. But
that's those drop passes. That's unfreaking believable.
But that should be telling right there because look at that. The fewest pass attempts. And how many times did he get his ass sacked? 55?
Yeah. And not to mention how many times he was
fewest passing attempts. Just imagine if they should sit up there and was at fucking mid-level of the NFL as far as passing attempts. Motherfucker might have had 100 goddamn sacks put on him.
But I can't say that's completely true, Foul, because Russell Wilson was the most sacked quarterback last year at 55. And even in the top 5, I want to say still was Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow dropped back 30 times, passed the ball, and threw for 4,500 yards and 30-plus touchdowns.
Well,
so
what I'm saying is
I won't say that not throwing the ball is not an option.
I'm not saying that it's not an option. What I'm sitting up there saying is that with those few attempts that he did have, the man was up there in the sack as far as getting his ass sacked. So just imagine if he would have threw even more, he would have broke fucking Russell Wilson's record. No doubt about it.
I mean, it's possible. I mean,
ain't no fucking possible about it. You got the lowest, and you still was fucking what in the top 3 as far as sacks?
I don't think he was the top 3 in sacks. I think he was top
We
3
gotta
in
look that
pressures
shit
and
up.
hits.
I'm pretty
I
sure
think
he
he was
was.
because remember, there's this skewed stat where the Bears' offensive line projected was not actually that bad, and that's because Justin's scrambling ability. The problem was Luke Getsy didn't call plays to Justin's strengths as far as having a weak line. He didn't. And that's just something that John Madden famously said, when a coach shows you who he is, believe him. And
I'm not gonna do that shit because a couple coaches that you wanted definitely showed us who the fuck they are, and they ain't all that damn good because they wasn't all that successful. So it all just sits up there. It's just about you talking about a first year coordinator. Then you
no, I'm saying who? What coaches weren't successful that I wanted?
The fucking senior citizens your ass wanted to fucking sit up there and be coaches. Caldwell
You talking about
whoever else you wanted.
Two-time Super
I don't
Bowl
think nobody's
champion
gonna
Jim
sit up there and
Caldwell?
say Jim Caldwell's a great head coach.
He's a quarterback whisperer for damn sure. That's proven.
Right. Nobody says that he can be a quarterback whisperer. Nobody's gonna say that he's a great head coach or a good one.
While you guys were arguing, I looked it up, and yes, Fowler, you're right. 55 sacks last year. He was hit 117
I said he was hit more.
times.
Yes.
117 times inside the pocket.
And that's with the fewest pass attempts in the NFL. Shit. Thank you, Jesse. At least we got a fucker. At least his ass is still.
Yeah, I guess all we can say is Justin Fields survived.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of that was based upon Justin running the ball and getting out of trouble, or just having bad line play altogether.
And he was hit in order to get outside the pocket and do something outside the pocket.
But my point is, a more polished, more open-minded, more scheme-oriented, more veteran offensive coordinator would have gotten that ball out a lot quicker. We've seen it done with plenty bad lines, and get that ball out quicker and be more innovative with your play calling.
And I know you're going to use the magic word in slants, which I still 100% agree with you. He needed to throw more slants. But I can't remember was it Big Cat Williams who told us? He's like, you can't throw slants if your offensive line sucks either, because the ball's just going to get bat down pretty much at the line of scrimmage every season.
No. What he said was, it's hard to block for a running quarterback because you never know where he's going to go. You never know what he's going to do.
Well, there was somebody who said it's hard to throw slants too when your offensive line.
And I can see that it's hard to throw slants because you got
somebody said that. That might have not been Big Cat Williams, but somebody said that.
It might have been
Steve. Big Cat was a proponent, remember, of letting Justin throw the ball because it's easier for them to pass block knowing the ball is coming out.
Yeah,
that's what Big Cat stood on. And I'm again, when I say I'm looking at progress for Justin. Progress for Justin is just not hinged on him by himself. No, some of the progress is if your coaching staff puts you in the proper position to succeed.
And I agree with that.
And like, I mean, I look at it like this. And again, Fal, I know you won't agree, but hell, I don't really give a damn. You look at any given Sunday, Willie Beeman against what Al Pacino said, upped his dollars, upped his money, and was passing all over the yard. Everybody loved it. It was great.
What, Steamin' Willie Beeman? Is that who you were talking about?
And then what did Al Pacino do when he left? He took that guy with him because he understood, no, I was wrong. This is what we should do. And what I'm fearful of is that Getsy and Eberflus, kind of similar to Nagy, would be stuck in their rut and what they want to do to the point where it is hindering Justin. Sometimes just take the restraints off and let them play.
This is a year that will show that.
To a high prolific offense, did they not? When they were sitting up there, when they found something that was sitting up there saying, okay, this is best utilizing this guy's skills, did they not do that?
Chris, it was based upon him running.
It wasn't just based upon him running.
What?
It was based upon his offense moving in the right direction. That's kind of like
running loosened up defenses to the point where he could target Cole Kmet a little bit more. Think about it. He still didn't have a lot of deep passes. He already had good rapport with Darnell Mooney.
Well,
and just his running alone.
You gotta also, like I sit up there and say, you trying to throw everything off on these fucking coaches. You also gotta have fucking players. Come on now. You sitting up here playing with fucking Dante Pettis, Iniquitous St. Brown, fucking Velvet Jones, and a couple other guys that shit. Hell, some of them was fucking, we got a guy that was off of fucking Minnesota And blew the fuck. I can't even remember the
Blew
fucker's name.
the game against
Smith
The game against Minnesota.
Smith Marset.
Yeah, Marset with his French sounding ass. You know what I'm saying? Wee motherfucker. You had those type of wide receivers, and yet you're looking to sit up there and have this high prolific offense, and it's just not gonna
What I'm saying is I'm looking in the offense last year who was devoid of natural God-given talent outside of Darnell Mooney. And they still, because of Justin singularly, lost 7 to 8 games by 1 score or less. That's not just me taking a bunch of trash to the Super Bowl. No, that means I'm dangerous enough to make plays. I'm dangerous enough to make N'Keal Harry earn a contract for next season. I'm dangerous enough to keep Dante Pettis on the team. There were some good things we saw out of that. Just let him throw the ball. Let
me say this too, though. Like,
Going into
last year, we all knew Justin Fields could throw the ball. We all knew he had a great arm. We all knew he was very accurate on the deep ball. And he wasn't as confident in running. Maybe that's why they utilized him in the run game, to show him that he can run the fucking ball like crazy. And now we go into this year and we're seeing a monster like a Jalen Hurts 4,000, 1,000 type season that he might have. Because you did go out and get him DJ Moore. Hence what you went out and got Hurts and you saw what he did.
Hey, Frank, a coin has 2 sides, right?
I mean, there's some coins that have 4. It could be a dice.
What coin has 4 sides?
No,
made that shit up.
I don't know what coin has 4 sides.
No, a coin has 2 sides, right?
Yes.
So what you're saying is probably relevant to one side, but the other side is, and you have to think this way. I know you don't want to, but you have to think this way. Part of that is, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Thank God this kid is running. Let me act like I'm a genius and put up 30 points a game for 5 games because of him running the ball.
Shots fired.
See, I look at the other side of the coin.
You said you don't know what you're doing.
I look at the other side of the coin and I'd be like, well, I got somebody who could actually run the ball. He could utilize his legs instead of putting him back in there in the pocket and having a 400-pound guy in his face in 2 seconds where he's going to get his ass whooped. I'm going to utilize him and run him more, where to the point where he can see somebody coming or get out of bounds or dive or not take a big hit. See, that's how I look at that. But now it comes to the point where this season, and I agree 100% with you now, JB, in this season, if we see the same exact shit this season, I'm off the Eberflus. I'm not even on the Eberflus fucking bandwagon. I don't know why the fuck I'm saying that. But it's more like I don't consider what happened last year to be bad coaching. I consider my favorite word in the Tank Topics, you were doing anything possible to get a great draft pick last year. That's what I look at.
Quid pro quo. What is Baltimore doing right now?
Running the ball?
No, sir.
Paying a lot of money to people.
Baltimore, finally, the light bulb came on and said, you know what? Since Lamar won his MVP, leading the NFL with 29 touchdowns passing that season, the last 2 years we've tried to run him more and he's been hurt. You know what they did? They went and got him an offensive coordinator who's known for throwing the ball all over the yards from college. They went and got him OBJ and some other weapons throwing the ball. Guess what Lamar Jackson is probably going to do this year?
And we're going to see if he's going to be worth that money then.
Well,
he thinks he's going to throw for 5,000 yards. You know why? Hey, coaches.
Would you take over and under 5,000 yards?
I'm not going to doubt it.
Would you take the over or under in 4,500 yards throwing for Lamar Jackson this year?
Listen to me. Lamar out his mouth, hey, dude, I'm tired of running and getting hit for no reason.
Good for him.
Let me throw the ball to these receivers that you paying to get open. Now you got me some damn good receivers. Oh, well, let's open it up.
Well, you can't sit up there and say that without throwing in the fact that previous years he didn't have no fucking wide receivers. So yes,
that's my point. You had to evolve.
But you started out, but your whole thing was you was talking about the fucking offensive coordinator. It didn't matter. Let's just say hypothetically that they still went and got the same offensive coordinator and he didn't have no fucking wide receivers. You think his ass was throwing for 5,000 yards? You think he going for 4,500 yards? Hell no, that shit ain't gonna even come out his mouth.
You don't listen. I said without he threw for 29 touchdowns and led the NFL in passing touchdowns. I said without. So imagine what he can do now that he has weapons. That's what I said. And similar to Justin,
that's what we're hoping is going to be with Justin this year.
As long as you have a coordinator and coach combination that is willing to open up the offense and the passing side.
Well, who said they not, JB?
I can only go off of what he says, and I can only go off of what the great John Madden said. If a coach shows you who he is, believe him. I can only go off.
So you'll do that shit off of 1 year, huh? Coach can't sit up there.
Coaches has been fired after 1 year. Hey, buddy, this ain't for you, man. Move around.
What did Lovie Smith do in his first year, though?
I don't remember.
He only had 5 wins in his first year.
I don't remember.
I guess he told us who he was, huh?
Wait, but did he change coordinators the next year? That's the question.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember offhand. Yeah, but like I said, there are, and I'm not comparing apples to oranges, but it's still fruit. The Bears, when what's the buddy name? When McDaniel was Nathaniel Hackett was in Denver, hell, they didn't even need a full season to say, hey man, this ain't for you.
But you're looking at a totally different ball game when it comes down to that. Because the Broncos were Super Bowl contenders.
The Bears were
right there.
Negative, sir. Negative, sir.
No. That's what makes the comment look like shit. Because you're gonna sit up here talk about the Denver Broncos, who some people had at least competing very high in the NFC. The reason why they went to go and get Russell Wilson.
First of all, they in the
and then
AFC,
you're talking about sitting up there comparing them to the fucking Chicago Bears that everybody fucking knew that was gonna fucking tank and that wasn't gonna be good.
First of all, you're lying because everybody did not know they were gonna tank. At 3-4,
at first nobody knew.
3-4, nobody thought the Bears were tanking, and you're full of shit if you think that's the
thinking that. So you actually thought the Chicago Bears were going to come in here?
No, sir. But my point being, as to what Frank said, I said sometimes coaches, you don't need a year or 2 or 3 to figure out they don't have it. I gave Nathaniel Hackett as an example, and there's been many others before him that did not make it because an owner or a GM looked at the situation and said, you know what, hey, man, this ain't for you.
Can somebody in the chat look that up to tell me who was fired after 1 year when they knew that they were going to have a shitty team? The only one that I can think of is Carolina, who the guy was freaking, getting his dick grinded on by fucking hookers at a bar.
Oh, was that Steve Wilkes?
Yeah.
Or Raheem Morris?
No, Wilkes.
I'm about to say they had both of them.
Raheem Morris was in Tampa. But yeah, both of them, you can say.
I'm just thinking of the Jacksonville guy who was fired after 1 year.
Denver Broncos team that many people picked to make the fucking playoffs.
I picked them in the AFC Championship game
to win that damn division, huh?
Because you went out and got Russell Wilson, and you still had Russell Wilson.
You didn't go out to get Russell Wilson to fucking end up last in the fucking division.
Hold on.
What does that?
We're gonna have a little truth on this show, goddammit. You're telling me
we tell the truth.
Not that dumbass truth.
No, because I'm calling bull right now. You're telling me
you're absolutely right.
You're telling me right now, that you all thought that Russell Wilson going to Denver was going to surpass Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City?
I said AFC Championship game. I didn't say to the Super Bowl. I said get to the AFC Championship game.
Hey, Frank, they're in the same division.
They're in the same division, aren't they? Son of a bitch. They can still get to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, they can still. It's not like they can't.
It's a one game. Like football is totally different than say like other sports with a 7-game series. You can flip it and win one game.
What I'm sitting up there saying is this. It doesn't matter if it was with Patrick Mahomes being in there or not. You didn't trade to get Russell Wilson to sit up there and end up last in the fucking goddamn division. You didn't trade to get Russell Wilson to sit up there and not make the playoffs. You didn't get Russell Wilson. You got Russell Wilson to go to the playoffs and potentially tried to make it to the AFC Championship game or even go to the Super Bowl.
Hey, what was the Bears' record prior Matt Eberflus? Nagy's last year. Anybody? Bueller.
What?
They made the playoffs.
But they didn't make the playoffs.
Oh, they did.
Wasn't it like 7
I
and
thought they made the playoffs.
No, they didn't.
Nah.
They made it at 8.
Was it the year before?
It
Okay,
was
could have
6
been
and
the year
10.
before. I'm thinking of.
6 and 10.
Because remember, they were 12-4. He was coach of the year.
Okay,
He made the playoff. We had a double doink. The next year, they backdoored into the playoffs at 8-8. And the next year following, I think they missed the playoffs at 8-8. The year after that, they were 6 and 10. You're not telling me that team that was presently constructed almost exactly the same when Eberflus came in before they started tearing the walls down. You're not telling me, hey, we're 6 and 10. Let me get this new coach so we can go 3 and 14. You're full of it.
No, but you also sit up there. But this is the thing. You had a new
Oh, Pete Carroll with the Jets. I forgot. Hey, go back to what who was that? Samuel? I forgot about that because that is one of those teams where that Jets team was supposed to, they had some expectations for. Right. You're damn right, Samuel Blackwell. Thank you for that. I forgot all about that.
But you guys are talking about teams that had coaches that came in there where the teams weren't expected to do shit.
Yep.
They weren't expected to do nothing. So quit sitting up there talking about first-year coaches when you sitting up here. You have Nathaniel Hackett that went to got Russell Wilson. The whole point of going to get Russell Wilson was so that team can get over the hump, go to the fucking playoffs, make some noise in the playoffs, possible AFC Championship game. Hell, if they were lucky, Super Bowl. Not a fucking team that you sit up here saying, okay, yeah, we're just going to start over from scratch.
Here we go. I just looked it up. The last team that fired a head coach after a one-and-done season who was expected to be a bad team was Peter McCauley on the San Francisco 49ers in 78.
What?
That was the last. I'm not saying a one-and-done team. I'm just saying a team that was expected to not be a 500 team.
I'm trying to figure out what are you looking up because that wasn't the question.
What he's saying is that the coach that got fired after 1 year, the last coach that got fired after 1 year, after that team was supposed to sit up
year
there
one of a
and do
rebuild
something
type
big,
team.
was back in 1978. Not these motherfuckers, Urban Meyer and Chip Kelly, who went to fucking squads where they weren't expected to win. Did you expect? So when they got Urban Meyer, did you expect the Jacksonville Jaguars to make the fucking playoffs?
I was expecting them to be better than they were the year before.
No, you weren't.
No,
I was expecting them to be better than the year before.
I wasn't expecting them to be that good.
But so you're telling me, you guys out your mouth, because I'm calling bullshit. Excuse me, mom, for cursing, but I'm getting hostile. I'm getting heated. You two on the right are telling me that you expected Matt Eberflus to come in and fail?
Year one, yes.
I didn't expect him to.
You expected him to come in and be worse than 6 and 10. You projected that.
I did not expect Matt Eberflus to come.
I said 7 and 9 when Eberflus came in here.
I did not.
7 and 9.
Guess what? 7 and 9 is better than what they were the year before. 7 and 9 from a defensive-minded head coach that had a top 10 defense, which was better than Sean Desai,
that had good defensive players though.
Should come in here and be better than 3 and 14. Y'all are full of it. Don't give me that because at 3 and 4, nobody on this panel thought the Bears would take it because that wasn't even a thing until after the trade deadline. Y'all are lying on this show.
Not about being 3 and 4, JB.
When they won that game, that game versus, I knew that they were.
He said, "Fuck."
I ain't having. No. Hey, give me a guest to call in. Hey,
when they won that primetime game against the New England Patriots, the Bears said, "Fuck, we are actually not that bad. We need to start losing. Trade some players."
Who says that?
Somebody who wants a good draft
GM
that
knows
that Bears team is not getting you to a Super Bowl. The key thing here is to get to a Super Bowl, and you need to be bad before you be good.
No, that's not always true, but I see where you went with that. But nobody is sitting up here telling me I'm going to hire a coach to get worse. That's not a thing.
But tell me this, though.
You hire a coach to build a franchise. 1 year.
No, you hire a general manager to build a franchise, not a coach.
Well, you need coaches to build that franchise, too. You need a team to build a franchise.
How? So you gonna tell You know what? Y'all got it.
Hold
I
on.
don't know. I ain't getting no truth.
Hold on.
I need some bourbon. Son of a bitch.
Let's get one thing straight. All right. You didn't sit up here and hire Matt Eberflus to sit up there to get worse. No, you did not. But at the same time, don't try to compare last year's fucking squad to the previous year's squad. Okay? The Bears had no fucking pass rush last year. They got rid of all their fucking pass rushers. Matt Gall. Floyd gone.
You kept the most important one in your center.
All these guys are fucking gone. You sitting up here trying to compare the previous season to the season that he had with the players that he had.
At least
had Allen Robinson and fucking Darnell Mooney. He ain't even had neither one of them motherfuckers at the end of the year.
Again,
if we did not win that week 1 game versus San Francisco 49ers, everybody would be thinking differently.
Hold on.
Everybody would be thinking differently.
If memory serves, I was the only one on the panel that thought they were going to lose to the 49ers. You 3 picked them to win.
I didn't. This is the thing. I didn't expect them.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't
have to go back.
And let me tell you why.
I might have picked them that just to surprise everybody.
No, that's bull because I'm going to tell you the gentleman to my immediate right had no faith in Trey Lance. The gentleman to the top corner on my immediate right had no confidence in Trey Lance. The gentleman above me just felt that, hey, the Bears can beat them. It's week 1. Catch them while they don't know what's going on.
That's what I said. They could.
They could. Now we sit up. Well, hold on. I think we all sit up there and said that if the time to catch them would be right then and there during week 1, during the first week of the season. And then let's not get it construed too. All right. The fucking goddamn game was a fucking monsoon. Okay, that had a lot to do with it too, as well.
But remember, I said that, and y'all told me, no, that don't matter, JB. That don't matter. I said that.
It had. I'm not
because the Tuesday directly after the show, I said if the conditions were dry and sunny, Trey Lance wins that game. Y'all was like, nah, you can't say that.
I still wouldn't have said that Trey Lance would have won it because for the simple fact, we haven't seen what Trey Lance is. Trey Lance is showing us exactly what it is. This motherfucker ain't even the starting QB right now in San Francisco, and they traded all them fucking draft picks just to get him. I wasn't a believer in Trey Lance like that. I knew that it was going to take him more time to develop, just like with Zach Wilson, because you're talking about guys that did it in 1 fucking year, and then Trey Lance took the last fucking year off.
Let me tell you something about that. There's this thing called injury that pops his raggedy head up. And I quote, and anybody want to challenge me, go head on. If Drew Bledsoe doesn't get hurt, we don't see Tom Brady. Injuries is a thing.
Drew Brees.
Injuries is a thing. Okay? It happens. So we can't say
Drew Brees Flutie?
No, Drew Brees, they went and got drafted Phillip Rivers. Remember, Drew Brees had the shoulder.
Drew Brees got hurt, and then Phillip Rivers took over, and then Drew Brees became.
No, they drafted Phillip Rivers the next year, I believe, because they didn't know if Drew was gonna. He had that Chad Pennington shoulder injury, right?
He had something happen with his shoulder. He actually had a
severe injury
that year.
He did have a good season. Right, he was like tops in AFC in passing, if I'm not mistaken, that year.
All right, back to Trey Lance. He ain't got nothing.
Well, again,
I only picked the 49ers to possibly win that game was not because of Trey Lance. It was because of your coach, Shanahan. I'm not comparing Shanahan to Flute or to fucking Eberflus right now.
You can't. They're not comparable.
No, it's not comparable. You can't even compare it. It's like apples and shit. Like you can't compare that at all.
And I want to go back to what Samuel also said. The last coach that was coaching a bad team, that was expected to be a bad team that got fired, was our beloved Lovie Smith. And he's not wrong.
Well, he's not wrong. Well, hold on. First of all, that fucking organization is fucked up anyway, because I think they're going to fire the last 3 fucking coaches within 1 year. Have they not?
Yeah, they
have. But then you also have the people to be like, they have this disdain for black coaches. Hell, the last 3 coaches have been black. The current one is black.
That is true.
Shit. And guess what they did? They fired all 3 of their asses.
Like,
got all 3 of them up out of there.
Look, it's only 32 of them jobs in the world.
For black coaches.
It's only 32
Lovie Smith signed there, he knew he wasn't going to be there.
Check it out. It's only 32 of those jobs in the world. So if they come a knocking, you better take it. Just take it.
Come a rocking.
Just take it. But I want to get back to because again, the chat is on.
It is like damn.
Fire.
I'm having a hard time keeping up here.
I'm not who my man Crazy Ace TV. He kind of agrees with you, Foul. This is going to take some time, real talk. You know, what is the discussion really about? But it's Crazy Ace. Let me just give a little background here. We are all very passionate when it comes to our Chicago Bears. We all four are probably crazy over the Bears to the point where we will jib and jab at each other because we want the Bears to be great.
All love on this show.
But it's still all love. But you have different perspectives, different perceptions and ideologies. The problem here is when you have one person making the decisions that we don't know intimately, all we can do is speculate through moves and media. We don't have a clue as to what Ryan Pohl's vision is compared to what Eberflus's vision is and what they're really doing. We just have a media sculpture that they hand to us unless you get to, like I said, that's why I like having Herb Howard on because Herb Howard gives us real. Herb Howard didn't come on and tell us, oh, man, Justin was great. Herb Howard like, man, Justin didn't look, he looked like trash.
No.
At training camp. Like he come on and give us the real. So we're not that media outlet that's just giving you kudos to every Bears
team. Good point. We should get Herb Howard.
We don't just fanboy out. We don't fanboy out. So we'll say the truth.
Yeah, we don't fanboy, and that's why that's one of the things that I feel is great about the banter that we have on here because there are multiple perspectives. But you know, what they say is different ways to skin a cat or whatever the stupid ass phrase is. But my thing is this.
It's multiple ways to skin.
I'm gonna have to Google that shit.
But
hey, Skylar, we understand. We know that you vent, man. It's fine.
No, please vent on because like y'all haven't seen me like this in a minute, but I'm getting hot because the thing that I know for sure is that when a coach, and Chris, you play sports just like me. Frank, you have when a coach shows you who he is, you gotta believe him. You got to believe it. And I'm not saying they can't alter to a degree here and there, but then at some point in time, just like with Matt Nagy.
But this is the thing, though. I understand what you're saying.
Run the ball 7 times for the whole game.
I understand what you're saying, JB. But at the same time, that's a coach shows you who they are when they've been doing it for some years. You're talking about guys that
Nagy had a good first season.
Last fucking year. Like, oh, okay, so they're going to continue
God damn it, I said Nagy again.
Do whatever it is that they're doing right now into the future. No, we don't know that. That's why I'm not jumping to conclusions. I damn sure ain't taking what Eberflus said in that fucking press conference as is the fucking 10 Commandments.
But
I don't believe that shit's so fucking fat.
You're thinking he's spin doctoring when I'm thinking
he's definitely spin doctoring.
When is the last time you've seen, not an owner, when's the last time you've seen a general manager be more transparent than a head coach?
Many of them motherfuckers don't get that song up on here. I mean, because it's not like the GM comes out and speaks every fucking week. Those motherfuckers may speak twice a fucking year, if that.
But polls, to me, in my opinion, because remember, I was skeptical of Poles at first. He has won me over, right? So when Poles came out, he said, I'm interested in this, and this. Everything he said he was interested in and was going to do, he's done. I have to give that man credit. He has done what he's told us.
And the only thing that he said was, I regret not finding more defensive pass rushing type guys, but it's not like I didn't try.
He said it.
Yeah, he straight up came out and said it, and I respect anybody. He
was transparent as a GM can be, and vulnerable at the same time. I kind of resonated with him in this conversation. With Eberflus, again, Foul, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying I'm skeptical because I've seen the Matt Nagy story. I've seen we're gonna change, we're gonna run the ball and all this, and then the very next game he runs the ball 7 times.
But you want to know what's the difference?
His name is
GM. The GM don't make the fucking calls. The head coach do. So the GM can sit up there and be as transparent as he wants to be. He can sit up there and say, yeah, I'm going to go get this guy. I'm going to go get that guy. God damn it. That's what the fuck he's going to do. The head coach ain't going to sit up there and tell you, oh, yeah, I'm playing the Packers this week. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to throw the ball 50 motherfucking times.
Andy Reid will do it.
What is he proving?
Andy Reid
What is he
will do
gonna-
it.
Andy Reid
Anyway,
is Andy Reid. He
I'm
is
just
the
saying, Andy Reid.
I wanna talk
Andy
about-
Reid will do it.
Andy Reid
you
can
said
do whatever the hell he wants, man. Like,
Andy Reid.
But I like. As I
Fuck
said,
that
Andy Reid.
cheeseburger eating motherfucker.
Look, you asked me for one. I gave you the one I had.
Fuck his
I'm
cheeseburger eating man.
But I want to go to. I know I'm way behind, but I want to go to what Z-Force says. Z-Force 32. That's our man Gary. No pass rush this year. No more than 5 wins this year.
Wow.
That's deep.
Wow.
Hey, he
Cut him low. Cut him
He
low.
may have a point.
He may have a
he's
point.
not wrong on that. We need a pass rush,
Oh,
but at the same
absolutely
But he's
but
not
at the
wrong
same
on that
time, I
first
mean, if
part.
you have a defense that can build
That
around it, you
second
can play in
part is
different ways.
kind of harsh, isn't it?
But
You got some speedy, good linebackers who can
Think-
put some blitzes sets
think
up on the outside.
think
to get
about
some-
it. Think about it, fellas. He's speaking about pass rush, which also means that your coverage team is in pass coverage longer than they should if you don't have a dominant pass rush. We've seen this story before.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, we have.
So he's not wrong by a long shot.
Nah, I mean, I wouldn't put him past him, no. But at the same time, unless this offense is so fucking explosive, it just really don't matter if your goddamn defense is that damn bad or
Well,
not.
now you're talking about getting to a shootout.
Yeah,
Which you
that's
got to
what
pass
I'm
the
gonna
ball.
say. Unless your offense,
Yeah, you always got to pass the ball to win
You
a shoot.
pass the ball.
So look, I put the link in the chat because we are going to have some fans come in here and join in the fun. Join in this fun.
How do you do that, man? Like,
So let's bring in our man Black Sam or Samuel Blackwell, if you want to be proper.
did you call him Black Sam?
No, I'll take Black
Black
Sam. Yeah, that's
Oh,
a nice.
yeah,
That's a
I'm
nice-
saying,
You remember Black Sam
Clearly
from,
says Samuel Blackwell.
No, I've been called Black Sam. That's not the first time.
Hey, welcome,
up, y'all?
Sam. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man.
Hey,
I'm glad I had the
give me
time to
one
get on.
favor.
Man.
Turn your phone, like kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we can get the full view for you.
Is that good?
It ain't.
Not flipping. Is your phone flip the screen?
it should have like a little
there's a
icon up there
button,
where you
right?
can flip it.
You must have
Yeah.
Android.
Oh, stop with your fucking Nobody
If
cares.
we do have a fucking Android, he can easily identify and just click the thing.
Nothing wrong with Androids.
Hey, y'all need to lay off the Android, man.
No, we're team Android over here. It's just that guy.
Yeah, it's just trying to adjust on this thing.
all his Apple products be failing and wondering why.
Right.
So look, we got another one of our guys that wants to come join
Nice.
the fun. Come on, Black Sam. You don't want to have fun?
Pee Wee Herman.
Oh man, you know fun, man.
Say
Hey,
what?
you said like 4 times.
Yeah, I wasn't going to keep
No.
doing it.
Hey Sam, so
I
check this out. In honor of Pee Wee Herman, anytime we say the word fun, we do like a little Pee Wee Herman laugh or something like that.
Oh,
you
okay.
didn't, you didn't
Paul
see
Feature
Rubens,
reference.
man,
Yeah.
age
Yeah,
70.
you remember Pee Wee Herman, right?
No,
No.
What
Oh,
the
you-
fuck?
Oh, come on. How old are you?
35.
35,
Oh, man, you
36,
know,
man.
fucking
Not
Pee
the
Wee
youngest on
Herman.
the panel.
so
Come on, man.
Pee Wee Herman passed away, and he was one of our childhood, like, I don't know, hell, memories, whatever you want to call it. Right?
Yeah, I know he was 70 or something. Somebody said he's 70. I saw him on my
Paul,
feed.
what's his name? Paul
Rubens.
Rubin.
Paul Rober.
Paul
They say he
Rubin.
died from cancer. Tragic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very tragic, very tragic.
We was dealing
All
with
right,
it
well,
for 6
look.
years.
Look, we got another one of our guys that wants to come in, man, and join us. I
Come
won't
on, let's get it.
say the secret word anymore right now. But let's bring him in, my man, Crazy Ace.
Yo,
What
yo,
up,
yo,
man?
yo,
What's
what's
up?
up, man? You guys can hear me
Hey.
good?
Ace,
Yep,
what's happening,
good.
man? Good to see you.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Yo, y'all had me tripping, bro. I came into the chat. I was like, what in the world?
Hey,
But I love the passion, man. I love the passion.
It's all like how JB said, man. A lot of us have different opinions and everything, but we all want what's best for this.
Our opinions is about as different as the quarterbacks the Bears had over the years. So it's just
I don't know if
that's how frustrated we are.
That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, that's
you cut them low. You cut them.
Yeah, that's sweep the leg and Karate Kid. That's like the new one, right?
So
that's just how frustrated we are.
What
It's
you mean?
just frustrating.
You mean you didn't think we were gonna go to Super Bowl when Cordell Stewart joined the Bears?
Let me ask y'all that. Were you all on when I was talking about what Olin Cruz said?
No, I think I joined after that.
Okay. So I was at a podcast last night and he was talking and he said the Bears are drafting like they're going to lose Justin Fields. Do you all have any?
Yeah, you guys all had the exact same fucking faces we all did when we heard that.
I was really intrigued, but I had no idea what he was talking about.
I guess without so just hearing that outright without context to like maybe understanding what he meant by it, because I'm like this. I'm like, we haven't built this team young, and I don't know how long. This is probably the youngest I remember being the Bears being.
Sure.
Which is it's a good thing, but at the same time, you got to understand, like, it's gonna take time, right? If nothing else, this is I feel the Bears are either gonna be just below 500, almost competing for a wild card, surprising everybody, maybe being over 500. Again, not by much, right? And then I think next year they'll be real contenders at the earliest. If Justin Fields is the person who we all want him to be, then he'll be here for a long time. If not, he'll play next year. And then after that, I think, we'll see them go in a different direction. But I see the team only getting better. Like I said, I think I put in a comment earlier. I have buy-in in what Poles and what Flus is doing. Right. They're doing things different. I think one of y'all mentioned about Poles. Poles said, Poles have more or less stuck to what he was going to do, right? Not like, remember Pace year one, he said we're going to do all these things. The next thing you know, we give away freaking 4 first-round draft picks or 3 first-round draft picks right off the rip. Yep. I'm like, how are you building a championship team when you go and you're giving away this thing? Now, granted, right, Mac at that time was, probably somebody who, like, you can't deny his talent and the player he was, and he showed out week 1. He was gassed after halftime, but he didn't
play all training.
I would say that's most of the defense because they're on the field more than
right. But at the end of the day, though, like that contract, didn't live up to what he was supposed to give out, right? And we can look at that at hindsight, but sometimes you got to let those players not throw all your stuff away just to find or just to sign this, talented player. And I get it happens, right? Like the name, they're like, oh, we got this, but they weren't ready to win to begin with.
Agree.
100%. If they were like Super Bowl bound and Mac was like the missing piece, man, I think by all means I would have been all for it, right?
Yeah, and that's why when I'm hearing all these people, and I'm going to throw his name out there, even though I love him and I hope he's watching, and that's Cindy, who always kept saying the Bears are so stupid not going out and spending money to get that elite pass rusher. We're not there yet.
No.
All right. Like, this is the exact thing of what you're saying of what happened in 2018 is Mitchell Trubisky was not ready to take that next step yet. And in this case, he never really was. But in that case, he was not ready to make that step.
That part. Hey, crazy, that part.
Well, the thing with analyzing quarterbacks, Mitch Trubisky had one good year in college. So if we can analyze the class that Justin Fields was taking in, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, they each had one good season. So it's hard to evaluate
Fields and Lawrence were really the only ones who had 3 great years of college.
Yeah, and they played against each other head to head.
That was a great game.
Yeah, and that's what kills me about Bears fans.
He was playing with.
What Fields is doing with the Bears, because everybody likes to call that label running back. I was like, have you seen him in college? He didn't do that most in college.
100%.
So we've seen what he could do when you surround him with a team. We saw with Trevor Lawrence. You saw what the Jaguars did. They spent top dollar around him in one offseason. Many thought it wasn't going to work. Ended up working. They sneaked in the playoffs. So I think fans should really be more patient with the Bears. Just give it time. I've never seen this many additions on offense, especially of this talent, in a while.
Yeah, I'm not sure about be patient with the Bears, give them time. So a lot of meathead fans, man, that's
yeah,
not
yeah. They can't.
Everybody, and I mean, I'm not gripping on those fans because they're passionate too, but they want to win now. But the other thing is,
they
all want to win now. Like real talk,
Yeah.
like who doesn't want to win now?
Yeah,
like,
everybody wants.
listen,
I want to win.
right?
I want to win now.
We gotta be realistic. At the end of the day, I mean, if they go and they had all this cap space, and I think they spent the money right, you know, whatever the case might be, like it is what it is at this point. Like we are where we are in the preseason, you know what I'm saying, right at training camp. Like we can't change it, right? We can go and have all the different arguments. You see all those different freaking posts about, oh, well, this person, oh, we need to sign this. Like we're past that. You know what I'm saying? We're at the point of no return when the season begins. If there's somebody who shows up, I think they'll sit there and go after him. But for the time being, we have what we have, and we just got to accept that right now and just freaking focus on the, you know what I'm saying, as the season comes up.
And you mentioned earlier, Crazy Ace. I just want to throw this in there. Like, even if we do sign someone, and then in about 2 or 3 years, you know, if their body's starting, you know, the wear and tear, then you're going to be like, oh, man, how are we going to move this contract? So that's going to be the question, too. So damn if you do, damn if you don't. I just like to see development. I like what Poles is doing in the picks that he got in return. I just like to see some development. He's not really going out like Pace, just trading on all your picks. You know, I think landing this number 1 pick really did do it. I just give it time. I understand fans don't want to be patient. They don't want to be patient. But I like to see us sneak in the wild card. I think we could battle in the wild card because the NFC as a conference is not really that strong.
Let me ask you guys this in your opinion, because we talked about this last week. What is stopping the Bears from actually winning the NFC North? Because I don't look at this roster and I'm not scared by anybody. I can't look at these teams and I'm not scared of anybody. Because the Vikings, I don't care what people are saying, you still have probably the best wide receiver in the game right now. I'll give them that. But you still got Kurt Kendall Cousins over there. Like I know
you call him Kendall?
Freaking clown. Right? And you just traded away Darren Cook too. Darren Cook's gone as well.
He traded away their tight end too prior. Yeah,
he was a huge part of your offense, and your defense sucks.
Let me just pause you all.
Other than the Lions, and the Lions can be the Lions, by the way.
Yeah,
the same fortuitous balls that the Bears did not capitalize on last year were the same that the Vikings capitalized on last year, but did not capitalize the year before. Look at the stats; it'll show you that. The problem is presently constructed. Can you say that the Bears roster and coaching are better than the Vikings roster and coaching, and better than the Lions roster and coaching? Because we went over it last week on the Sizzle. Hey,
I was on that too.
Hey, the Lions not only have a roster, but they got the veteran or pretty Pro Bowl players as coaches. Their coaching staff is bananas when it comes to like the player personnel, from the likes of just some notable names like Dre Bly, Aaron Glenn. What's my man from Antoine Randall L is the wide receivers coach. Like they've got
dudes that's actually played the game
and proven and played at a high level and been award winning.
Right.
Like the Lions ain't no joke. And remember, the Lions last year, fellas, if Seattle don't win that game, I believe it was Seattle 9-8. The Lions beat the Packers. They should have been in the playoffs.
True, but the Lions got to stay away from betting and suspension.
Oh, dude, I know, like all their troubles. But no, I think
that was Jameson Williams, right?
Yeah, Jameson Williams. He got a little frustrated. I'm reading in training camp.
Yeah.
He has some drops getting the fight with his rookies
out.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just look at the Bears like, for those that think that this division is weak right now, is right for the pick, right for the taking. I would say pump your brakes because the way that those other teams have evolved, like full transparency, why do you think the Lions drafted the best linebacker in the country, Jack Campbell? Why do you think he did that? To kind of spy and stop Justin from doing all this damn running. They're gearing up to stop us. What are we doing to gear up to vault ourselves over other teams?
We went out and got receivers.
Not gonna happen.
I mean, heck, when they drafted the running back, with their first
and they
pick,
got another running
like,
back.
Yeah, you were like, what in the world were they doing?
We got DJ to offset everything.
They compare him to Marshall Faulk, which is pretty damn good.
That's a very damn good comparison.
Yeah.
No, I want to address what Z-Force.
I want to address that too when you're done.
Bears. Well, we're all going to do it right now.
All right,
Bears have to prove they're an average defense. Well, I think that with the trades that they made or the pickups they had, and also the draft they had, they have to prove that they're better than average.
Yeah.
I don't think average is going to cut it. We don't want to see
average isn't going to cut it right now.
You need to be a top 10 defense this year.
So what JB said, JB says that the North isn't right for the picking. I would argue that it is right for the picking.
I
but
think
because
so, too.
the Bears have to prove that they're above average in order to take the North. Average isn't going to get it cut in the North, right?
No,
you got 6 games right off the rip, right? So imagine if, let's just say if the Detroit and Minnesota show up like they did last year, right? That's 4 games off the rip. Let's just say that we lose. Maybe Green Bay we split, right? So that's 5 games off the rip already. That you know what I'm saying? They have to be above average in the North if we're gonna try to compete within the division.
Well, I don't think what Z-Force was saying was average was going to win it. Average has to be.
He just needs to get better.
Yeah.
But you can't get that much worse.
That's your watermark.
I see. That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
Right. You have to
But
go above
here's
that.
the thing I wanted to address with the Z.
Oh, Frank, for our guests, can you please put up the schedule? I would just like their take on.
I'll put it up in a second. So, and he was bringing up the defensive ends, and I agree. We do need defensive ends to help out, but we can't go out there and say, or let me rephrase this: what was worse than us not being able to get the quarterback last year? It didn't freaking matter because we couldn't stop the fucking run either. They got a lot of weapons to help stop the run this year. A lot of weapons. And that's going to help open up pass rushing for, say, like Dominique Robinson, who I'm really hoping makes a huge step this season. Hoping. But then you're also looking at the Bears aren't done right now. They're still trying to sign defensive ends. They're still working with, what's his name, Nagana Jababa. I don't know.
Yannick, just call him Yannick for short.
Yannick. I like him. I think he'd be a huge fit to this team. But he only wants a 2-year deal. I'd give him
he wants some bread.
I don't understand what we're waiting for on that one, unless he wants a
doesn't
lot
want
of money.
to prove his deal.
Exactly.
He feels like he's already proved it. He doesn't.
But you're also looking. I mean, they haven't been out. They haven't said that they're done trying to get Payne from. What's his name from? From the Commanders. They're not saying they're done with him yet, and they're actually putting trade offers out there to try to get Houston right now as well. So they're trying. But Poles, and this I respect and I love. Poles has come out and said, "I'm not overpaying people."
Yeah.
I'm not at that point where I am going to pay you a lot of money to maybe give me a good, 12 games because you can't make it through a whole season. He's not going to do that. And I respect the shit out of that as opposed to average. Freaking what's his name? But as far as to be average, I think the Bears can be a top 10 defense this year. But yes, you do need to put pressure on the quarterback. There's no question about that. But being able to stop the run is going to help put pressure on the quarterback too. Because you can't get to the quarterback if you can't stop the run.
I don't think that you will be a top 10 defense without a pass rush. It's just that.
I agree.
No, and I agree with that too. I'm just saying I think our
agree.
defensive pass rush is going to be better with the additions that we made to be able to plug up and stop the middle and the run.
Now, what would you rank an average defense in the NFL? You got 32 teams. What would be average?
Well, I mean, I would take a top
15.
in
the middle.
Let's just say the Lions. They were average. They were ranked 32, and they still play every team hard. So it's not like out of Alden Hutchinson, who do they have? With the pass rush.
Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson was
Aiden Hutchinson. Yeah.
Well,
outside him.
My reason for stating that is that I don't think that the Bears have to have an average defense to sit up there to be a good team to make some noise. I think they can be somewhat between the 20 to 25 range and still sit up there and be able to make some noise. Because honestly, I expect their offense to be more potent this season than their defense any damn way.
And it's going to keep your defense off the field.
And it's going to, like you said, it's going to keep.
You never hear stuff like that before after all these
That's
years.
a good point,
Keep
right?
your
Yeah, I
defense
know,
off
right?
the
Like
field.
our defense has never been out there 3/4 of
And as much
Yeah.
as we talk about as far as when it comes down to the Bears and the best way to keep a lot of these high-powered offenses off the field is by running the ball.
Yeah.
So if they're talking about, yeah, we're going to run the ball some more, I'm not saying that I'm completely down with it, but I can understand it as well, especially if our defense is sitting up there getting massacred all the damn time. We're going to have to sit up there and keep their ass off the field and keep them fresh. So running the ball, which is something that, hell, we was the number one rushing team in the NFL last year. If that's something that we feel that we can sit up there and do and continue to do, why not do it? Now, I don't want to sit up there and run Justin ass 20 times a game.
No.
Oh,
But-
hell no.
That's probably why they upgraded a running back or
Yeah,
tried.
exactly.
And one thing else I'll say about defensively and everything like that, as far as how horrible we were at stopping the run, as horrible as we were at trying to get to the quarterback, our secondary finished top 10 in the NFL. And that was with none of that.
What's troubling is Brisker
None of it.
Brisker led the team in sacks. That's what's
Finished fourth in
Very
tackle.
troubling.
That's embarrassing.
It
When
is.
your freaking
It is.
free safety finishes fourth in tackle.
But here's my thing. I want to address what Frank has said, fellas, real quick. Who is the right fit? Because if we're just going after a Yannick Ngakoue because he played in the same scheme last year with the Colts and had 9.5 sacks, why do we want him when he's been on 4 teams in 3 years?
It's a great question.
So
I would like to know why the hell he's been on 3 teams in 4 years.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're bringing in talent, I need talent that's sustainable. I don't need a mercenary.
Eberflus should know at least somewhat of an answer to that.
I think a lot of people look at his sacks more than anything else.
Yannick,
that's the thing.
to
He only, and I say only, not that it's not great or productive, but the 9.5 sacks that he had. Remember, we just got rid of a guy that had 18.5.
Yeah, Quinn.
Yeah.
We just got so you're saying
he sucked.
Hey, I'm gonna let go of the 18.5 guy to get a 9.5 journeyman.
Well,
if we sign Yannick now,
he's not good against the run. That's his.
Oh, he's terrible against the run.
Everybody knows that he's not good against the run. And then when it comes down to Quinn, one thing that we know about Quinn, as far as with him, is that every other year he has a good fucking year. Last year he had a bad one. So if he's on the team this year, I expect him to have a good one.
Well, I also think they game planned for him because they knew that was all we had.
Yeah.
Well, also for Quinn,
I mean, you look at his track record. Shit, even the first year we got him, he ain't do shit. He came back and had a killer year that next year.
That was more pace. Because when you look at it now, that's why Poles is learning that lesson. Remember, Poles almost signed a defensive player from Cincinnati, and he failed his
Ogunjobi, yeah.
Yeah. Robert Quinn, when he first signed the deal, there was reports coming out that he had a foot injury or something. He didn't do well his first year. So Pace tried to hide that. So I think the Bears are learning from that as well. When Pace threw all that money at Quinn, he had a foot problem. I forgot what foot injury it was. But that lingered with him his first year. I think second year he took off.
Yeah, with Yannick, though, I think
Bears are learning that lesson.
When if the Bears are signing Yannick now and not going after him to begin the season, I think it's more about a veteran signing, and they weren't trying to pay him as much either in the beginning. I think
it's a 2-year deal, and in that 2-year deal, he's probably going to want some guarantees. Ryan Poles probably wants some incentives.
Yeah, he also didn't want to come here at first either. But I think he's noticed how not a lot of people want him. So
he's been around. He's been around the league.
He was in Indy, and then the other guy, Justin Houston, was in Baltimore, who we have our eye on, Justin Houston. But at this point in time, it's this late in the year. The only way they're going to sign these guys to any substantial amount is if somebody gets hurt in training camp of note, right? Somebody of note has to be hurt for them to sign those guys to any type of deal where they want. I'm trying to think, although I don't want him, but a Jadeveon Clowney is still available, correct?
Yeah, I think he is. But not only that, you got to also remember, Poles right now is playing chess. He's playing chess, not checkers. So he's also sitting back, waiting to see if some team is dominant.
It's chess, not checkers.
To release a player, just like who was that got released before? What big time player that nobody saw getting released got his ass released and somebody signed him up just recently?
True. And also to Pole's advantage, he's number one on the waiver till like week 2 of the season.
So he's got time on his hands.
He's got those cards on there.
It's really interesting to find out what's up with Ngakwe, or if I'm saying.
I mean, you look at who expected Dalvin Cook to get released.
No, I didn't.
Nobody. Kareem Hunt is still a free agent. That's a shock.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people asking, why are we going after? We don't need a running back.
But running backs is a whole different discussion, though. Like,
but you know what's crazy though? Crazy Ace. The last 2 running backs that at least got close to $100 million deals were Adrian Peterson and Ezekiel Elliott. It's crazy how it wasn't that far long ago.
Ezekiel Elliott shit on that.
He did shit on it, but Adrian Peterson was the only worthy one.
If I'm not mistaken, and Alvin Kamara, because Kamara and them making some big bucks, right?
I still don't.
Yeah, he's still with the Saints though. He's still with the Saints.
They re-signed him.
Yeah,
I think in my opinion right now.
God damn it!
In my opinion right now, I think that Ryan Poles is playing the waiting game. He may have interest in one of those 3 guys that we named, or somebody else, and he's just not jumping the gun.
Well, and saying, who's going to get released?
Who's going to get released? Because there will always be cap casualties, and it's not always based on performance.
Hey,
right?
We're always talking about him. Khalil Mack still has the possibility of getting released because the Chargers still got to cut salary.
Oh yeah, they decide not to cut Keenan Allen.
Khalil Mack back.
Right. Did you see that? I was like, wait a minute. And then they talking about they gonna put Buddy in the slot. I was like, what?
Yeah,
because they was talking about Keenan Allen after they took a wide receiver. They would have saved $13 million. They decided to keep him, so they got to cut somebody.
Yeah, and that's where Khalil Mack is going to be a piece.
So you know what? Speaking of cut,
we got to pay some bills.
Can we please cut to a commercial? Because I got to piss.
Before we cut to a commercial, and Ngakwe, this is all I think of with him.
You disloyal fool-ass bitch-made punk.
That's all I think of. Like, is he like disloyal?
Let's cut to the commercial.
Cut.
Listen, shout out to my man Terrence from Chicago's Clubhouse Podcast, from the Moore's Brewing Company here in Chicago, Illinois. All right, we got bros out here putting out this for the Moors. It's tasty. I didn't even have to come on here lying about this. All right, this tastes like what I like when I drink a beer. I don't drink a beer often because I'm too big and I need to stay off of carbonated drinks. But this is the carbonated drink you need to open up and crack and take a sip. All right, if you want to come out of the dark ages, be educated. All right, get you some of this Moore's brew right here. It's definitely tasty. You can get it in Kimbark and High Park.
Whoa. I thought we were a team. Where's Mines? And when are we getting in Tempe, Arizona?
I guess we're going to have to find out, man. But everybody out there, for here from Chicago, go to Kimbark and pick you up some Moors.
There was a time when high standards prevailed, when excellent craftsmanship was displayed and treated with the utmost importance. Acquire the crisp, refreshing taste of Moore's Beer. Moore's Beer. Raise your standards.
So, shout out to Moore's Beer, one of our sponsors. Love it. This is the pear Pilsner.
For all my Suburbans, they aren't in the suburbs yet. I am the only suburban on this cast.
So you need to go to your local Benny's and demand that they get some Moore's Beer. Raise your standards.
I tried. It didn't work.
So I wanted to go back and address one thing that you guys were really talking about. And this will be very, very paramount because, Frank, I do want you to put that schedule up.
Oh, yeah.
The Bears.
I'll do it when you're ready.
The Bears have a favorable schedule as far as common opponents, but do they have a favorable schedule to uncommon opponents? You know what I'm saying? Because the division plays the same teams, right?
Yeah.
I have them 7-10, fellas. I would like your take on it real quick.
I think
first. Yeah. Go ahead, Sam. Go ahead.
Yeah, I understand that. They said we traveled the least 2 out of all teams.
We do
So,
because
so
of
that could benefit
the
them.
distance. Because
Yeah.
of the distance. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that could benefit them. To I originally I was being pessimistic, saying 6, 7, and 10, and then optimistic 9 and 8. So I think they
That's
could.
where I have them at 9 and 8.
Yeah, I think they could do that. I think this schedule favors them more than last year, and they could sneak in there. That's why I was saying the NFC. Like, if you want to break down the NFC, Eagles, of course, they have the best team. They got the same quarterback they brought back. Niners, they're still playing, musical chairs with their quarterbacks. They brought in Sam Darnold, so we don't know about them. You got to have continuity at that position.
Sam Darnold is just going to be tying people's shoes. He ain't going to be fucking playing.
Oh, you don't think so? I think he's the best on that roster because when you think of Sam Darnold's situation, he's with the Jets.
Purdy's not going to be back week 1, though, is he?
I don't know. They're not going to rush him. That's for sure.
He's cleared to practice, but I don't. But here we go again. You're talking about possibly starting Mr. Irrelevant over 2 first-round picks.
Well,
Trey Lance isn't back 100% practicing yet either, is he?
Trey Lance is back.
Is he back?
Yeah.
Then Trey Lance is going to be your week 1 starter.
No, he's not.
Well, they're going to try to because they put a lot of resources in, and that's more so Shanahan. So they got to do something with Trey.
Yeah,
but remember, Shanahan and Lynch kind of got to save face because they didn't. The reason why they shelved Garoppolo was to feature Trey Lance.
Damn,
that's true.
Trey got hurt. Remember, Trey got hurt week 2.
Last place, the first place, Anthony, you got them? Shit, dude, 12 and 5. I don't know.
Damn, that's overly optimistic. Hey,
Crazy, what you got? Crazy.
Hey, but y'all know it's the NFL. It's the NFL. Any given Sunday now. It's the NFL.
So I can see the Bears honestly like, and this is probably me being a little bit more on the optimistic side, but I can see them going 9 and 7, right? And
9 and 8.
9 and 8. My bad.
9 and 8.
I can see them going 9 and 8. Like just above 500.
And I'm not mad at 9 and 8, but give me your swing games because my swing games, unfortunately, are probably not the same. My swing game 1 is week 4 in Denver, right? That's one of my swing games. Put that back on one more time, Frank.
I didn't take it off.
I took it off.
And my
I'm tired of looking at that shit.
Talking about it. Look at Clement's muscles, dude, and deal.
And my other swing game, again, is an AFC, is going to be at Cleveland.
Not the bye week till week 13, huh?
Yeah, that's a long freaking.
Those are 2 games that I just feel Russell Wilson is not going to be trash 2 years in a row, and Deshaun Watson is not going to be trash again after whatever his tobacco's and trials and tribulations were. So I think those are 2 games that people have the Bears fans have winning that I don't have.
Okay.
Because remember, Denver still had a top 10.
And I'd say you look at that schedule, though, there is only one team that's a guaranteed loss, and that's
Kansas City.
It's the only guaranteed loss.
Hey, absolutely. Guaranteed.
I'm just glad it wasn't in Germany.
It is guaranteed. They
you heard about that, right? Kansas City is the one that went to the forefront, and Lamar Hunt Group did not want that game played in Germany.
Kansas City fans don't sound like
they want to come home.
It's all about that right there was all about the money. They knew they were going to make more money. Absolutely. It being a home game with Chicago because Chicago
being a reigning
champ. Well.
But I also like a flip story on that. I also heard and I will get 100% agree with this. Kansas City Chiefs fans are not as loyal as Chicago Bears fans. What? Chicago Bears fans are still the #1 traveling team in the NFL.
Oh, absolutely.
Right there close with the Dallas Cowboys. They will be flooding the shit out of
Hold on, sir. Did you just say Kansas City fans are not loyal?
Not as loyal as
not as loyal. Not loyal to
traveling. When it comes down to traveling for their team, the Bears and the Cowboys are the top 2 teams in the NFL.
Yo, he's like
geographically. Yeah, JB, look up the maps. JB, you be shocked yourself. They do
don't
this every
travel
year.
well because the average salary is probably like $32,000 in Kansas City.
Well, that could be a reason why too. But I'm not looking
that
at
absolutely
the
matters when you take consideration what it is.
Well, when their whole city is flooded
that's
with
not
factories
Kansas City,
and
Missouri.
cows.
That's on the outskirts of Kansas City, Kansas, 7-hour drive.
That's a whole nother show.
Hey, so here I got a question for y'all. I got a question for y'all. Right, we're talking about their schedule.
Chicago fans will fucking travel to hell to watch the Bears play.
I mean, Cubs fans travel.
Yeah, your ass would.
Hey,
I'll say this about my
when I'm in Korea, hey, I wake up at 3:00 in the morning knowing the Bears are gonna lose, and I still watch the game waking up at 3 in the morning watching them. Like
we may be sad, pissed, and crying, but we still
no. I'm in the US now, but so I'm in the Army. So normally, like I
thank you for your service, man.
Okay, thank you for your service, Craig.
So, matter of fact, I'm going back there by next season. I'll be watching from overseas again, man. But anyways, hey, I appreciate y'all.
Stay in touch, man, so we can keep in tune with you. Stay in touch,
man.
Oh, for sure. Hey, so I just read this real quick, and I wanted to hear your take. It says the Bears are the only team without a single game that gives them an over 50% estimated chance of winning, even though they have an easy strength of schedule.
That's very telling.
That tells
they
how
do that.
bad they were last year.
I can't deny that.
They do this every year when teams are rebuilding, right? So I don't think it's a surprise.
Well, I can't look at that schedule at the same time and say every win's a guaranteed win.
No, there's a lot of factors that go into
not a
it.
guaranteed win, but it's not like, oh, they're definitely gonna lose that game. None of those games. I think, like JB said, the only one there is Cleveland. I mean, Kansas City.
Kansas City, right? But the other ones, like Ace was saying, it's not as easy as we think outside looking in.
I think we're gonna see what the team is really made of by week 6, and only because we have 2 division games, right? And then we have KC, Denver, and I think even Washington last year they were a pretty decent team. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And so Tampa is the only one that. Even with Tampa, I'm saying we're not going to run over Tampa, but I think we have a better chance of beating Tampa than, you know what I'm saying, than in previous years.
I have the score 2 in our division, though.
So
I got a splitting with the Lions and Vikings and sweeping the Packers finally.
Really?
You know what? Let me say this.
Okay.
Everybody is sleeping on Jordan Love.
I don't believe anything that comes out of Jordan.
Look, if Green Bay, if Green Bay was so invested in Jordan Love, they wouldn't give Aaron Rodgers that contract. That's all I'm saying.
Let me finish my point.
Gotcha.
I'm not saying that Green Bay is going to destroy the Bears. I'm not even saying they're going to take one game. But what I am saying is a lot of people are sleeping on Green Bay, thinking they're going to be trash
because we want them to be trash.
Wait a minute, Frank. Hold up. I'm not finished.
We want them
because everybody's saying, well, Jordan Love, he can't throw. He can't do this. He can't do that. You can easily get on YouTube.
Utah State.
Or you can easily remember in the games that he was thrown in there, he actually made some plays. He made some throws. He threaded some needles. So I'm not gonna say, oh, he's gonna be trash. That dude is in the NFL. That dude was picked in the first round. So don't sleep on him. That's all I gotta say.
I want to bring up this game.
Jordan Love.
You know, when Jordan Love, I don't know if you saw this game against Jordan Love when he played against Kansas City. Did you see that game with Jordan Love played against Kansas City? Kansas City had the worst defense that year. I believe it was the year before last year.
It was year before last, right?
Yeah, he only scored like 10 points. That's the same offense that Aaron Rodgers was with weeks prior, and they put up numbers, and he still couldn't get them to beat Kansas City.
Oh, you basically
that's the game I think.
One game,
one game against an average defense.
One game.
But come on, it's not like he was out there with an offense that Justin Fields had last year. I can understand.
So
that.
I don't think Green Bay is going to go and strike gold and get like a third quarterback that's going to sit here and be a franchise quarterback, right?
Yeah.
But I will say though that like right now, yeah, I honestly think though, like a lot of the stuff right now they're throwing up there, it's kind of like, you know, it's just a facade. It's just smoke screens, man. I think Green Bay is going to be a little bit better not a little bit better. I think they're going to be better than what people are saying, but I don't think that they're going to. I see Green Bay finishing last in the division. Sure as hell not the Bears. I'll tell you that much right now.
Okay, last what? Because they could be 7-10 and be last, 6-11 and be last. That's not.
I have them at 7-10.
That's
6-11. 6-11.
Not too far off of what the Bears may be. But here's the one thing, guys, that you have to remember.
Hot trash. Get him, Anthony. Hot trash.
No, I'm not. I see what Anthony's saying, but me and Anthony are gonna have. We're gonna get into it right now because here's the thing. When you look at what the Bears have produced on both sides of the ball, have we really looked into what the Packers have done? They've bolstered their defense. They're featuring Christian Watson.
They finally drafted offensive weapons too.
They drafted offensive weapons. Like, they're not just sitting up there like accepting that we're going to be last by the meeting. They're not.
That's true.
I'm not going to sit up there. And plus, it's an interdivisional rivalry. Like, Bears-Packers is probably like the supernova of all rivalry games across all sports. Just the sheer fact of the magnitude of that presence of those games, I can't sit up here and say, I remember games when I thought we were going to beat Don Magic Mikowski, and we lost. I just knew we was going to beat Brett Favre when he came from Atlanta, and we lost. I just knew Aaron Rodgers sitting on the bench 3 years, chomping at the bit to get in. He was going to beat him, and we lost. You're going to have to sit up there and show me a little bit more before I just sit up there and write Green Bay off. Not saying that they're going to be great, but I ain't looking past them either.
Right. There's one thing I don't want them to be. I don't want them to be as bad so they have to draft Caleb Williams and we just end up, having him in our division. So I'm gonna agree with Terrence. I'm gonna have that kind of optimistic view of Green Bay. They're not gonna be that bad. I don't want them to be that bad to get another quarterback from next year's draft.
Brought that up because here's the thing: if the Packers, let's say, aren't that bad to draft the Caleb Williams, and the Bears are with two first-round picks, because I expect Carolina to be trash. Do they part ways with Justin and grab Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Well,
either way, this is a great situation to be a part of as a Bears fan. I mean, you could choose. I mean,
is it?
It depends on the season.
Depends on the season.
On Justin Fields' season.
Let me tell you this. Let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, the Bears are, to my record, 7-10, which is, obviously an improvement. But let's go to G-Force's record with 5 wins.
5?
Let's just play the scenario out.
Yeah.
Do you flirt with going to not take Justin, not give him his 5th year, and pick up Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. with those 2 first-round picks? Or do you keep Justin, build, and you get rid of the coaching staff and say, hey, you didn't bring us to where we need to be?
You're going to have to trade both first round. I guess Carolina has the possibility of being really bad.
Carolina's going to probably have like 3-4 wins.
Yeah, they're going to be pretty bad. So we might be able to pull Marvin Harrison out of that.
I don't think you let the player go in that situation. I don't think they'll
next year's edge rushers in the draft is going to be mad deep.
I don't think you go for
the receivers next year. Woo.
I wouldn't even go for Marvin Harrison at all.
What receivers you got on your list for next year's draft? Yeah.
I don't care who else is on that draft. It's Marvin Harrison.
It's not like you hurting that wide receiver.
You're not this year, but we're expecting that.
But can we keep Claypool and Mooney? I don't
think we're going to be able to keep both. One of them is going
to. Not if we don't pass the ball. Absolutely not.
Yeah. I don't think we'll be able to keep both. But you can at least keep one of them. So I wouldn't sit up there and try to draft the Marvin Harrison. What I would try to do is sit up there and use one of those high first-round picks and get me a fucking DN, a young DN, a promising young DN. I'm not as enamored with Marvin Harrison Jr. as most people are. I think he's a very good wide receiver. I don't think that he's that deep ball threat that most teams look in wide receivers. I think he's a great route runner. I think he has great hands. But it's not a guy that I'm going to sit up there and be like, oh, okay, well, we are already strong at wide receiver. Let's just add Marvin Harrison to the group now.
Yeah. But and there's a couple examples why DN is that important, because we look at what the Vikings did. They got rid of their tight end. They got rid of their running back, but they kept Hunter.
And they damn near got rid of him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that was
everybody
close.
had DeAndre Hopkins going to Kansas City, and Kansas City's not going to spend any money on anybody until they make Chris Jones happy. They're going to keep him. They're not going to let him walk out the building. That's the importance.
Hey,
right now, Andy Reid.
Lemonhead. What's up, Lemonhead?
Oh, Lemonhead, Chicago Bears
Yeah, long
alum.
time, yeah.
Okay,
Man,
what's
we
up,
need to get
Lemonhead?
him back on the podcast. I said I was not gonna call him Lemonhead. And I
Slap
called
the
him
shit out of you if he
Lemonhead.
calls you
No,
lemon.
you just read what he put on. That's Lemuel Stimson, everybody. Lemuel Stimson, Chicago Bear alum.
Lemuel.
Lemuel Stimson. Hey, here's my thing. What you talking about right now, Sam? With the Chris Jones thing, right?
Yeah.
If he, let's just say for the sake of argument, if he becomes available, you better bet your sweet bottom dollar you better go and see what he want if you here in Chicago.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You better go
Yeah.
see what he
Absolutely.
want.
Your sweet
I
mother.
know, hey, I know we drafted those 2 stud tackles and everything. Hey, which one of y'all can play DN?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Preferably my guy from
Your sweet
Florida.
bottom dollar.
Preferably my guy from Florida. You know what I'm saying? Because we know Pickett's, a little bit bigger. But here's where we are. Winnable division versus overall record. I don't want any fool's gold. I don't want any wins and we look at Justin's numbers and we like, hey man, this is not good. This is like similar to last year. I need evolution in that passing game. I need for DJ Moore to say, hey, you know what? I'm resigning. I need for Donnell Mooney to be like, I want to be here. I need for Claypool to feel welcome and wanted here.
Yeah.
I don't need his big 6'4", 4'4" running tail to be a blocker. I don't need him to be commit. I don't.
Well, goddamn it, he getting the love in camp right now.
That means Gessie really got to open up that playbook. I want to see what he's made of. There's been, talks. Could he be a candidate next year? Could be out. But we got to see what he does this coming season.
I think this is the year for him for sure.
And like what I said earlier, that's why I was like more pressure on him for the development of Justin than Justin actually developing as a passer. We already knew Justin could pass. We already knew Justin could pass.
I think that's gonna go coincide with each other because right now the narrative as far as in the NFL circle is that they don't know if Justin can get it done as far as when it comes down to passing. Yeah, Luke Getsey's gonna have something to do with that, so I think they're gonna coincide with one another. If Justin does great, Luke Getsey's gonna get a hell of a lot of praise. Will he be gone?
And then he's gonna get a head coach.
Probably not, because it'd be his
every
first
time somebody
year.
turns around a Bears offense for 1 year, they get a head coach.
Yeah, but the thing is this: Luke Getsey also he wasn't offensive coordinator until last year. He's always been a quarterback coach, so I don't think that he has that history of being play calling where a team be like, oh yeah, well we want him, so y'all.
I think it'll be another.
Well, I mean, look who came out of the blue.
1 year.
Look who came out of the blue for the Vikings coach. He was a quarterback coach on the Rams. Nobody even know who he was. McConnell, I believe.
McConnell, yeah.
So it's like it's an offensive league, and I mean, I was kind of surprised when we hired Flus. I wanted Doug Peterson, like somebody that could, because we saw what he's doing with Trevor Lawrence. I was like, imagine him in the field. Yeah, so I was like, gonna have to see. I mean, there's a lot of quarterback coaches, offensive coordinators teams will chase next year.
I mean, we got what's his name? Andrew Janoko. Like, who the hell are you? Like, you can't do nothing.
I like something that JB said something though. He pointed out like, if y'all remember, was it 2018 season where like fools go, right? Like, I'd rather go and have, if we're gonna be, let's say, if we're gonna be 8-9, 9-8, and the Bears actually show like they're a good freaking team, then like, okay, bam, like that's 100% buy-in. We know that next year versus them trying to win, they go into the playoff, look horrible, right? And then next season, it's like they didn't really change from 2018 to 2019, and 2019 showed up, and then they were like,
well,
you're like, who's this?
I think a lot
New
of that had
defensive
to
coordinator.
do with the coaching.
New decor.
Yeah,
I
new
think that
defensive
had to do with
coordinator.
the coaching
Vic
of
Fangio
opposed to the
was
team.
Oh
the
yeah,
reason for
Fangio
that.
did leave. My bad.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. They let
Fangio was
go.
that
that's
2008.
true. That's true. But with Fangio though, see now you get into the discussion about how much a coach really means, right? When you have, let's say, the players were all there, was did Fangio have that much of an impact that it changed
Absolutely.
within 1 year like that, right?
Absolutely.
So then we go in there and you talk about Alan Williams, then you're like, can Alan Williams sit there and because he needs to show out just as much as Luke Getsy does this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, Ace, let me ask you this. Last time Alan Williams was defensive coordinator,
No, I don't.
what was his record? What was he famous for?
0-16.
Oh, was he on the line?
No.
Oh,
he was the last ranked defense in Minnesota and got Leslie Frederick fired.
Oh, was that not 0-16? That was like 1-15 that year.
1-15, yeah, something like that.
No, I don't know if it was that low, but he came from the Vikings and then was a defensive backs coach.
Well, the Vikings still suck on defense.
So coaches.
They got Brian Flores, but they don't got the personnel.
They do. Brian Flores in general is going to make that defense better. There's no question about that, but still not good.
I just don't know about their personnel.
Can we address what Antonio said? I think it's kind of interesting. He said, all that said that we were talking about, what kind of numbers do we want our main back to have? No matter if it's Herbert, Foreman, or even Johnson.
What the fuck did you just do? God damn it, T.
Man, I thought it was like a firecracker or something went off.
Okay. God damn.
Hey, I thought it was Halloween, bro.
Are you back in
Jack in the Beanbox or something popped out or something in the background?
Man,
hey, we're about to be
shocked or something.
To answer Antonio's question on that one is
we're here to pray for this man today.
I love it.
That's Morgan Freeman from
That's that apple, y'all. That's that apple. Excuse me. That's his apple.
Destroyed my train of thought right there, dude. That just destroyed my train of thought.
What the fuck is on the wall?
Don't worry about it. No. I'm just having fun, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make slice of the color. Go ahead, though.
I love it.
God damn. Cheers. Well, I think it comes down to it. I don't think anybody knows who is our number one back.
And that's what the Bears are probably.
I don't
have running back by committee right now. Herbert, on paper, Herbert is the number one back, right?
He's RB1. He is, but he can't block. Can he block a catch?
Khalil Herbert is a one-trick pony. That's
he bought a judge machine.
Compared to the other two running backs that we have on the roster now are good blockers, good runners, good catchers.
Good catchers.
And Khalil Herbert is a good north-south runner. So,
and that's there was a reason why he had more yards per carry than Montgomery.
I don't see any of these three running backs getting the high volume of the rushing. Like I see our number one back literally having maybe 550, 600 yards rushing. If we're just putting one back. I'm not saying combined, I'm saying one back.
If we could get 1,300 total between three backs, I'm fine with that. And probably double digits and touchdowns. It's it's by committee.
I think they're going to have to. One is going to have to stand head and shoulders above the rest, and I think one will be up for because don't we still like totality wise? Don't we still have Tristan Ebner and we technically have 5 backs in camp, 6 including Blasting game.
Ebner is a good
Homer.
Who was it today? I was listening to Terrence. I was listening to Terrence from Under Center podcast today, right? This morning on my drive to work. And they were saying, like, because people haven't seen a lot of Roshan, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, obviously he's the rookie, right? But he's gonna go ahead, he'll get some snaps because God forbid, but someone's gonna get hurt. We haven't had a running back finish a season, whole running back finish a complete season. Right. And so I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the season, Roshan has a lot more snaps and has more yards. And because we're trying to figure out who the one back is, at the end of the day, why do you think we brought in Foreman? We kept Herbert, we re-signed Blasingame, and everyone thought last year that Blasingame was going to sit here and be like, oh, he's going to come in and be this and that. And then like the season kind of started and like We
He was on
But they
IR.
didn't
He was
use
in
it
and out.
because there were
They never
times
used
where Blasingame and Montgomery should have been in the backfield.
Oh my
on the
God!
goal
If
line,
you would have put Blasingame in front of Montgomery
and they
blocking that
didn't
hole, that
do
would
it.
have
They
been.
put Herbert in single back formation, and he wasn't getting in.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that I see from
Damn,
both.
Anthony, you just going in on him.
No, he's saying the rookie. He's
I'm
saying
assuming he's
Herbert.
talking about
saying
Khalil
Herbert, I believe.
No,
He's
he's saying
saying
Herbert
Herbert
can't
can't
block the
block.
catch,
Herbert
but
can't
Roshan can.
block.
Roshan
Right.
can do everything.
Look,
Which is
I'm not a big. I don't like Herbert. I'm not a big fan of Khalil Herbert. You
I'm
know
not-
what I'm
That's the
saying?
reason
Like,
why he's a sixth rounder.
real
That's just,
talk.
He is
I'm
a very
not.
good backup running back. I
Yeah.
mean, he's not your number one running back. When you have to fit him into a spot to maybe get you to break a nice run, because he's got good vision. He hits
He
a
does.
hole hard. There's no
Yeah.
question about that.
That was why he, when Montgomery got hurt, his yards per carry went up because Montgomery, he kind of dances, but he works for his yards.
He does.
But Herbert just finds a lane.
But
hits.
there's also a stat, Sam, that shows when Herbert was the featured back, his yards per carry were less.
Yeah.
So
He
Montgomery
went 4 yards per carry.
That's true.
kind of bruised and wore them.
to have vision.
That's it, Frank.
because seriously, like, and I'm not taking anything away from Khalil Herbert, but to me, Khalil Herbert is that back for Buffalo, right? That straight ahead, go get me those 3, 4, 5 yards, so that they're keying in on Josh Allen, and Josh Allen don't have to run.
Yeah.
But for the Bears, you need, first of all, somebody can break tackles. Secondly, you need somebody that can block. And thirdly, you need somebody that can go out, run crisp routes from the running back position, and be able to catch the ball. The last time we had that, it was Matt Forte, and he was a Pro Bowler, perennial Pro Bowler. Roshan Johnson is closer to Matt Forte than Khalil Herbert is. It's been shown. Now, Dante Foreman, I don't take anything away from him because if you all remember year before last, he damn near had 1,000 yards coming in week 9, I think it was when Henry got hurt, right?
McCaffrey.
Yeah.
McCaffrey.
No, that was in.
Oh, and when he went to Tennessee, my bad. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. He went to Carolina. Yeah.
Carolina was kind of tricky with the offense. Tennessee was rerunning his ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he produced at a high level. So having Foreman, to me, my pick would be Rashawn Johnson as my starter moving forward. And then having Dante Foreman as like possibly my third down back or whatever utility back. Herbert, to me, is going to play himself out of position.
I hope he is strong because I actually see him as a nice trade chip too. When it comes down to trade deadline, somebody who's in need of a running back who could break tackles.
Do y'all see Jalen Johnson staying, or could he be traded?
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. That's very
Does he
tough.
fit
It
Luce's
depends
system?
on the season.
It is a
he has
very
this-
tough decision.
He fits the Tampa 2.
Yeah,
very well.
it's going to matter how much he wants. That's what it's going to come
And
down
I'm
to.
glad
We
they
all
said,
know Foles is not.
we right here because the scheme with the Tampa 2, you have to have good coverage across the board.
Yes.
You got to have solid corners. If you don't have solid corners, Tampa 2 doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't work. That's why Kyle Fuller was so valuable here. When we had
And then
Kyle
he
Fuller.
stopped using that, and he went elsewhere where there wasn't a Tampa 2, and he struggled.
Yeah.
And it really is a tough decision because you're going to need to spend a little bit more money next year on a couple more edge rushers. You don't want to overpay for him because, in my opinion, and again, we were talking about in the show earlier, I would rather see Kyle Gordon on the outside where he dominated college football. And I love the guy we drafted this offseason who could take Jalen Johnson's spot.
But we don't want Tyreek Stevenson to take his spot. We want to pair all three.
I'm actually okay with Kyle Gordon playing nickel if we get more value with him being in the. Somebody made a comment I was talking about the other day where they were sitting here talking about like, hey, we wasted the 35th pick or whatever on somebody to play nickel. I was like, okay, cool, but why are we looking at the value? Granted, it's 35th pick, but if his value is value added being the 35th pick, playing the nickel, and we have a solid nickel, and we have other two corners now you go and you have a solid defense.
Yeah.
So why
you
are we
have value because you're in nickel more times than not anyway in this.
You're
right.
literally,
It's
it's
the
like
schemes
it's
they're
over
playing out,
80% nickel in this defense.
Nickel is very important.
Yeah.
But
So you know what I'm
remember-
saying? But like, I don't know.
remember-
That's to me, like I like him at nickel.
But remember
I
the whole
wish-
reason. Hold on, Frank. Remember the whole reason why Kyler Gordon was even thrust in that position because the year before they thought Thomas Graham was going to solidify that position, and Thomas Graham kind of played his way.
I was against them cutting Thomas Graham. They kind of
Yeah,
gave
I
up
think
on him.
all of us on this.
Well, remember
Yeah.
he never came back after COVID. Thomas Graham was a first round pick pre-COVID out of work. He was first rounder for surefire. After COVID, he kind of, whatever.
Yeah.
I've heard about the lingering effects, whatever. But
He's still on Cleveland's roster too.
he still is. I'm with you, Sam. I wouldn't have given up on him, but just to bolster that nickel position, which is so happy with everybody coming at you with the 3 wide receiver sets now.
Yeah,
you can almost say that Kyler Gordon is the most important piece because everybody's throwing slot now.
Definitely on that
if
second.
there was a guy I'd give up on, it's Vildor.
And a Renfro.
Oh, don't even talk about
Vildor. How is
Vildor.
Vildor on the roster? He's not.
Yeah. This is the thing, and
Why you do that for? That
Vildor
was
got
too
some
easy,
pictures
bro.
on somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, Ace, I got something for you. I got something for you, Ace, for the person who said that they wasted that pick on Kyler Gordon.
Oh, wow.
Because when it comes down to that, and the thing is with Kyler Gordon too is they put him in a spot that he was not ready for. He was not drafted to be a freaking nickel.
Hey, he's like,
Right? He did not have an off season to train or to do all his stuff to learn at nickel. So he was kind of put into an extremely tough position. But
I think they sold Kyler a dream at first.
As
They
the
sold
season
Kyler a
progressed,
dream.
he got better and better and better at nickel, and now
I liked him in that Bills game. That was one of
and
his
now
best
he has a
plays.
full off season to work at nickel. And I
Yeah.
will say this: Kyler Gordon's the most athletic person that we have on that defense.
Yeah.
The guy's a freak of nature, and you need athleticism at that nickel position. So
Hey,
I think he is still going to be dominant, but I still think he's better.
And taking Brisker helps Eddie Jackson plays back in his role that he originally was when he
Yes.
had
Did
Van
you hear
Gundy.
that, T? Did you hear that, T? There's no other Eddie Jackson hater on this freaking.
He's just gonna say he's not.
There's a reason why he was a captain. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. Eddie Jackson proved to me that he spent more time in his cereal than he did in his football game over the past few years. Right? And that cereal sucked. It was so
Was it? Eddie
I
O's
did
or Bo
try it.
Jackson?
Hey, you're gonna be
buy one box, get 3 free at Jewel.
Hey, you're gonna be upset then. I
didn't
Eddie
like his
Jackson
beef
jersey in
with
the
Lance
closet.
Briggs
I'm
when
just
he was
saying.
beefing with Lance Briggs.
Oh no, burn it, man. You gotta burn it.
Hey, look, I had it made in Korea for $50. What can I say, man? You know what I'm saying? I didn't spend top dollar for it.
I do agree 100%. Getting
Get your
Brisker
money's worth.
Hold on, first of all, I need that hookup. A $50 jersey. Send me the link.
Hey, I'll
But
be
you know
overseas,
what?
man. I'll hook all of y'all up. Just say, shoot.
I am an Eddie Jackson hater, but I must admit that he was all right last season. He was not.
all right.
He turned around. He turned it around. He turned it around last year. But I think that's only because he had good supporting cast with other defensive backs.
Brisker.
Brisker allowed Eddie
Bo
Bojack to be in the back and be a safety.
Correct.
But I wanted to
You
throw
didn't
the
have to
stat
bring
at
him up
Terrence.
for the run.
I
But
want to
anyways,
throw the
go ahead,
stat at
Frank.
Terrence. Whenever Eddie Jackson has one interception in a game, the Bears are 12-0. But until that Giants game is when we lost.
I think 6 of those interceptions were in 1 year, though, weren't they? Or 7 of those interceptions.
I believe it was 5. I read something on but that's how amazing.
I'm here for the comment.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like, that's like when it comes down to Eddie Jackson, I was right there with T. I freaking hated Eddie Jackson, but when you brought in Brisker, I knew Eddie Jackson was going to be better, and he was better than okay last year. He was damn good last year. It could be because our defense was so freaking bad. But
Well, we've been through 2 coordinators, right? We've been through Pagano and we've been through Sean Desai. Like,
yeah.
Well, I
that
mean,
could-
you also got to think about it too. When they sit up there and they had Eddie Jackson, they kept putting him in the wrong position.
Yeah.
They had him at strong safety, kept
they
bringing
tried
everybody
switching
in to
around
play
so
free
much.
safety. He's not a fucking tackler. He's a ball hawk. Let him
Yep.
be a fucking ball hawk. He had a very good last year. If he didn't get hurt, he would have made the Pro Bowl. The man had 4 interceptions already. He missed a ton of games. This shit, he still ended up with what? How many tackles did he have? Like 90 something? maybe
It was
90,
92,
80
93. I
something.
saw something.
You know, and coming from your free safety, that's a lot of fucking tackling.
Eddie Jackson still needs to improve in tackling. That fucker probably.
I mean, he do, but
that
that's
guy can't even hit a standing still tackling dummy. If he wants.
I think he was a better tackler than he was with under the other two coordinators.
I can't say that, Frank. He tackled very well last year.
He had a good year last year, even with his tackling.
Well, I would tackle better too when Quinn and Mac and Roquan are out of the door. I would tackle too if he wants to stay around.
Yeah. But when you have a bunch of other, grocery baggers in front of you and everything like that, are struggling completely, and Eddie Jackson's just sitting there 90% of the time hugging air.
You know what? I'm not going to put a premium on that because we're not looking for him to be the tackling machine that we are for Briscoe. We're looking for him to be a ball hawk because remember, as great as Deion Sanders was, he was a poor tackler.
But he didn't like contact, but he was great in coverage.
Right, and that's what we want. Let Eddie Jackson be Ed Reed, and we're fine.
I don't know about Ed Reed, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't know about Ed Reed.
He ain't at that Ed Reed level. That's
Ed Reed would hit.
Ed Reed would fuck you.
Ed Reed would hit. He'll be on special teams. He'll do everything. He's all
return them kick them interceptions like punt returns, man. Like I love some Ed Reed, but like I said, I'm just saying I would like for Eddie to get back to that free flowing.
Yeah, to his old form.
If he did, then I will become not a hater.
I do feel though you need a pass rush because he did have Mac and Quinn and all those.
And Hicks.
2018 was team.
No. Wasn't no damn Quinn. It was Hicks.
No, it
was Hicks.
And
Roy Harris was there too.
Leonard Floyd.
He was, but remember, Hicks was like the catalyst. Like when Hicks was the Bears was damn near.
Hicks always was it. Hicks always it'd be 2-on-1. He would somehow still find his way in the backfield, like one way or another, and that helped a lot.
I love some Akeem Hicks, man. Like, damn, I wish we had.
But I just think overall, like, if the Bears can even like some kind of like rush and get some hurries to get these quarterbacks off their freaking game, you know what I'm saying? Just get them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know, if you can go and get them uncomfortable, then it allows the linebackers, the DBs to go ahead and, put themselves in a better position.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean,
there's a player that I read. It was I forgot it was a Bears beat writer. I forgot what his name was on Twitter. Wrote an article on Travis Gibson. They said he's like 5th in the league. I don't know if it's accurate, but they say he's 5th in the league in drawing double teams, even though he can't get to the quarterback.
Because they scouted him from the year where he actually what did he have?
He was like
this past season, actually. The past 2 seasons.
Only defensive player
on him.
Yeah, so it's like this is why I say football's a team game, just like with running backs. You need a flurry of pass rushers with them, but for him to draw double teams, somebody could have got to the quarterback, but we didn't have that this past season.
Hopefully some kind of I don't know how much you all expect out of Billingsley. I don't know how much. Well, here's my thing. Javon Dexter, if he's going to be that 3 technique, go on and put him in now. Let him you know what I'm saying? Let him cut his nose now.
Yeah.
I think that's the plan, though.
But Zach Pickens is the run stopper, of which we are woeful when it comes to stopping the run.
Man, one of the worst.
So, if you could pair him at the one, you know what I'm saying? But eventually, because of the free agents that we got, eventually you would hope that is the new tackle pairing, but like where does a Billingsley, where do they fill in?
We claim somebody from the Panthers. It's like we just love claiming stuff, players from Panthers.
Someone said Chicago Panthers earlier today.
Yeah.
It was the Chicago Falcons, and now we're flipping to the Chicago Panthers.
Yeah.
But no, that was the Atlanta Bears. That's what it was.
The Atlanta Bears. Sorry,
my thing is you gave money to DeMarcus Walker as well, and he's a hybrid D tackle / edge rusher. But his best season was only 7 sacks. Like you see what I'm saying? Where I'm going with this.
What you make of Rasheem Green?
That's still
Rasheem Green. They picked him up.
I like him. I'm undecided, Sam, because like I've never seen him in a potent defensive scheme. Like I've just seen him sprinkle.
But
I just see it. Put them all together in one unit. I think they could all do damage. That's what I think.
So you would put him hand in the ground, just go.
Yeah, I think we need some kind of pressure.
He got most of his sacks from those 7 sacks came from the DT position. That's what it was.
Okay. Oh, you talking about DeMarcus Walker?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was with the Titans.
Either
which is 7 sacks from the DT position is pretty damn good.
That's great.
Yeah.
And that was against that KC line. He was putting all kind of pressure on Mahomes. That's one of the best lines in football.
But again, where do he stack up currently, knowing that you drafted Javon Dexter and Zach Pickens? Like you can't.
Now y'all say about
I think it's going to be.
And Billingsley is a tackle, right? Billingsley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a run stuffer.
He got to be on the field.
Yeah.
He's your Ted Washington. He got to be on the field.
I guess you got to believe in Flush's system, because for them not to be this, I mean, they making these little moves here and there, claiming, except for edge rusher, they must believe in Flush's system.
I like what you said about Green, but do you kick Dominic Robinson has to whatever?
Yeah, transition from wide receiver, right? I believe that was a story.
Weird. That was weird, but that's another story for another day.
That's gonna take some time.
What about Justin Jones? What about Justin Jones?
How about Justin Jones?
Does he go to the left edge? Does he go to the left edge?
I don't think JJ did shit, did he?
Like,
he was decent.
I mean, somebody needs to fill the water.
He's a one technique that was forced to play 3, but has some edge rushing capability.
Well, he was a backup plan when the Bears that I mentioned earlier failed with that other signing. They rushed and signed him, so it's not like he was
Larry O
on their wish list.
Physical, they signed from the Chargers.
He's with the Steelers now. He said, "Dude, I'm a guy, whatever."
Just call him LO.
Oh boy, Frank, you're hilarious.
Sounds better when I try.
Just call him LO. But you see, we got a lot of try-hard guys, but we don't have that guy.
Fun.
We don't have that guy. Sam, I want Green to be special. I really do.
I do too. I mean, he's a veteran. He's been around. He's been on.
He ain't short on no playing time either.
I heard that.
Yeah. That might. I mean, I think Fluss is going to have a nice rotation going on. That's what I think. Why they're hesitant. I mean, I keep hearing Yannick and Justin Houston. There was Frank Clark for a minute till he decided to go to Denver.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to shove it to KC.
He talks about it in the Twitter sphere.
Yeah, the Twitter sphere. The rumors. But I think a lot will unfold.
Well, I mean, we didn't even flip like who's getting cut on offense though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's leave that for next week.
Hi, I'm David Jones.
All right. So I guess you already started, but we'll finish it on next week. Let's go ahead and get some shout outs so we can get out of here. I gotta eat. I'm hungry.
You gotta pee again?
No.
No.
my bladder is a little bigger than that, man.
Hey Sam, you see what y'all signed up for, man?
we have fun up in here.
You already knew.
You said fun.
Let's go. Damn it, I said it.
Even Grogu got in on the fun.
So the fun. So Ace, you know why we're yelling when we say fun, right?
Oh yeah, trust. I watched Pee Wee Herman. I don't know about Sam, but I know I watched Pee Wee Herman.
I had a slip on that one.
Man? Oh, I still watch his movies.
I heard of him.
Just YouTube it. You'll probably be like, "Oh, I remember that trash. I didn't watch it."
Yeah, I just probably had a glimpse of him. That's probably. I haven't really dialed into that. No.
Man,
hey, we're gonna sit here and be like.
You'll be like, yeah, we have someone here who didn't watch Pee Wee Herman, everybody. I'm just saying,
That's his voice board, Terrence. Stop
hey,
ripping on him like you're ripping
like
on
the
my
bullhorn. I love it. The megaphone.
Look at Terrence's face. Now he's gonna cry and probably kick you off like you tried kicking me off the one time when I had a little echo.
What
no, I didn't try. I did.
I didn't try. I did. Terrence just beat up front.
So,
hey guys, play nice. We have company.
Man.
Play nice. We have company.
Huh?
I said, play nice. We have company.
Oh yeah, I'm good. I like the soundboard. I like.
I love it. Damn that. But let's get into some shout outs. Ace,
yes.
Start with you.
Hey, I guess the only shout out I got obviously is one of my followers actually came here on me, so I appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by, showing some love from the crazy house. You know what I'm saying? Like, And then honestly, I appreciate y'all letting me come in and hang out, talk about the Bears. Anytime I get to talk about the Bears with some actual fans and we can have a discussion and not arguments, you know what I'm saying? Like, I freaking love it. So I appreciate y'all.
Oh, it gets arguments.
No, but within reason, right? You're gonna argue, cool. We passionate like that, but to obviously be able to have like, you know, talk about it. It's not trying to sit there and choke people's keyboards and trying to fight and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
They take it too personally. That's these days of the sports, man.
And Ace, I'm gonna say this: you'll love it even more when we have Bears alumni on because it gets real.
Oh yeah, they keep it all the way 100 in here.
We'll go ahead and be like
exactly like we do,
punching and stuff, you know.
Well, speaking of that, we are actually gonna have one guy in here who might punch somebody. I'm not gonna say any names.
Mike
Frank,
Tyson?
shut up. You already know what I'm talking about.
No, you shut up, T. Damn, it's on you. Thank you for coming on and throw your shout outs out.
All right, so Ace, that's
Damn,
it.
throw your shout outs out.
You just had that one shout out.
I mean, my wife, you know what I'm saying? Everyone else watching.
All right, Black Sam, it's on you.
Appreciate you.
Oh yeah, I just want to give a shout out to y'all. It's great to be part of this group. You know, part of some real fans. You know, there's been some crazy groups out here where fans just take one little thing and just go overboard. But to talk some real Bears fan, be some realists. You know, to have in a group. That's good to have. Got to have, you know, both sides to everything. So we come to an understanding in the end. So it's nothing personal. Please, nothing personal.
Amen. Right. Don't hate me.
Never personal, only passion.
Yeah, we all gotta agree. Jordan Love's gonna suck ass.
I don't want him to suck too bad. I just don't want him to get another.
Don't sleep, Frank. Don't sleep. Stay woke.
I will sleep on him all day. He ain't gonna be shit.
I won't sleep on him on week one. I will definitely sleep on him week one.
Frank just wants Caleb Williams to come to Green Bay and mess our lives up for the next 12 years.
Yeah, I really don't. So I'm with Terrence's mindset on that.
I'm fuck him. Fuck Jordan.
Frank just fuck Packers to the end.
Absolutely.
Hey, you ain't gonna be
sick and tired of those little bastards getting quarterbacks. So sick and tired of those trash-headed bastards getting quarterbacks.
If you can't watch this shit at work tomorrow, Frank, you ain't got shit to do with me.
There is no way. I've already told you, when your name is present on that screen, I can't watch it at work. They just know what you're gonna say. Like it's every show that can air at work, you are not on. All right, who's it on? Me?
Yeah, it's on you.
On me. All right. I usually leave the chat to JB, but I gotta bring up this chat. Like this.
No, look.
This was probably the best chat, at least I've ever been a part of, because this is the most from different people too. Like, and I'm gonna bring up some of the new people. Amy, was that the one follower that you were talking about?
Me.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, welcome. I hope you watch us every Tuesday night. This is pretty much a show that we have every Tuesday night with great guests usually who talk shit just as much as we do, but it's all out of love. Other than that, shout outs to Chicago White Sox organization for getting their heads out of their ass and trading 50% of their team.
Another rebuild under Kenny and Rick Hahn. Woo, I'm so excited.
Hey, I'm not a Cubs fan.
They're saving their own ass.
I am not a Cubs fan, but kudos to them. They are going for it. They got some nice pickups at the trade deadline, and I just checked my highlight board. They just won 20-9 today, for fuck's sake. Like, we wish the Bears could put up that many points, let alone freaking Chicago Cubs.
I think we will.
Yeah. Shout out to Bears training camp. Excited, saw some great highlights coming in with DJ Moore making great passes.
Tyler Scott fast as shit.
Catching Tyler Scott going one-on-one with that rookie like almost all day today. It was great to see because Tyler, that guy is fast. Like,
they said the reason he fell in the draft.
It is one thing that we have said from last year that we struggled with most was getting off of the line of scrimmage.
Breakaway speed.
This guy is ridiculous when it comes down to getting off the line of scrimmage.
You need a home run.
I am extremely happy with that, but yes, it's way too early.
Oh yeah, it is.
Other than that, hey, all you guys, hey, Ace, Sam, it's nice having you on, man. It's great having
great
you
to be
on.
with you guys, man. It's great to be part of it.
T-Nick is, it's just whatever when T-Nick's on. Totally messing with him. Always love our father of the podcast over here, T-Nick, since he is the old one.
Don't call me that, man. I'm your boy.
Foulmouth and JB.
He pretty much has flushed it down the toilet, bro. He's like, this is what I'm doing with y'all.
I was gonna say, Lovey's little brother.
We do got 2 new people on there where we need your guys' opinion on this.
Oh, come on.
Pretty much every Bears alum that we have had said, yeah, they actually do really see the resemblance. So
I hope they run into each other.
Yeah. There is nothing wrong, T-Nick, looking like a
I wish I still had that picture of Frank up here.
I would love to get Lovey on the show, but
we should have a statue of Lovey. Lovey put us to this position. He's like, let me go.
That is all for my shout.
Hey, and then he's got to open up. Hey, we appreciate you for the #1 pick, and we know you're looking out for Chicago.
Lovey, we loved you before you just gave us the #1.
Bear down.
No, it's just run for mayor, for fuck's sake. I don't care.
Oh man,
extremely excited.
All right, Foul.
Who's next?
It's on you, homie.
Okay, well, first of all, I'd like to thank, shout out to the chat. The chat was on fire today. You know what I'm saying? Everyone that came in, remember to like and subscribe to the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast. And we ain't fucking playing either. Like and fucking subscribe. Come check us out every Tuesday, 8 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Let me give a shout out to the 2 brothers that joined us today, Crazy Ace, Sam, you know what I'm saying? Shout out, fellas. Hey, it was a pleasure talking to you guys, and we'd love to have you guys back sometime in the future.
Definitely, I'll be there.
It was great talking to you guys. My brothers, JB, Frank the Tank, T-Nick. Always a pleasure. Tuesdays, 8 o'clock. Want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Hugh, In the Zone, Moore's Beer, Under Armour. Shout out to, like Frank said earlier, the Chicago Bears organization and the Chicago Bears period. No training camp is under the way. Football season's right around the corner, baby. Matter of fact, speaking of football season, the Hall of Fame game is this Thursday.
This Thursday.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So we get to see some motherfucking football.
I can't wait.
I should have shouted out the Bears. They sent me a letter. My wife sent them an email asking letters congratulating me on 20 years of service or whatnot. So they actually sent they sent a letter in the mail or whatnot too. So I got
that's awesome.
Yeah,
respect.
Hey, that's awesome, man.
Wow, kudos to the Bears for that class act. We don't hear that enough from you guys. Class act.
That's dope.
Damn, so
that is super dope.
Shout out to my man here, Grogu. You know what I'm saying?
Plus,
Shout out to my homie here. You know what I'm saying? You catch his ass on the Disney Plus channel. Shout out to the kiddies. And shout out to my lovely fiance who's waiting on my ass to come to bed.
This is the way. Let's go, Grogu.
JB.
Wow. I guess
I'm sorry. One last thing. Rest in peace to our boy, Paul Rubin, Pee-wee Herman. Rest in peace.
And by the way, you got me with the Batman Returns one. I actually looked that up on my phone. Damn, I did not know that.
Yeah. It was fun.
I did not know he was in Batman Returns.
We brought a lot of fun to our lives.
Fun!
Hard act to follow. Good stuff. We can't say this enough. Sam, thank you so much for coming on, Sam F. Blackwell. We appreciate the love.
Yeah, man.
Great to have you.
It was an honor. It's an honor.
Thank you, Crazy Ace. Again, my brother, thank you for your service first and foremost.
Anytime, man.
We love what you're doing, protecting us and allowing us to do this. And the fact that you are going back for another tour, brother, my heart, my love, and my prayers are with you always. Thank you so much. And bear down always.
Real, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, that's real from the heart, brother. We appreciate you. Now I want to get into this chat. My God. Kasim Baker, thank you for checking in. Skylark 99, one of our P1s, was on fire. I don't even realize if you guys know, like, the chat has been like lit since we got on first thing today.
Start to finish today, man.
Damon, thank you for checking in. Damon had a crazy take going a little bit. Scott Hopkins, Dennis Lewis, one of our new guys. Curtis Clay, thank you for checking in. My brother Harry Berg, all the way from Florida. Harry the Greek. Catch him on his channel where he's got all the bets, all the information you want to know. Like Harry's like an 86% win percentage. Find Harry Berg, get up with him. I already said, Damon, thank you for chiming in. Again, Anthony Stewart, thank you for checking in. Juanita Motti,
Lemonhead, don't forget.
Saying good evening. Thank you for checking in. Some guy by the name of Frank Marshall, thank you for checking in. I don't know who that guy is, but he's probably a cool dude.
Dude, that guy is freaking badass.
Is he Frank the Tank?
Lemonhead, man, Lemonhead.
Frank the Tank. Thank you to Anthony Stewart, one of our P1s. Thank you to Z-Force.
Go to Home Depot.
Our guy, our resident referee, Gary Zahara. Thank you for chiming in. Also want to, as I'm scrolling, bear with me, Mary Williams. Don't know who that is. Chimed in, had a couple of quotes. Thank you for chiming in. We appreciate the love always. Mary, why you bugging? That was a good song, Run DMC.
Mary, why you bugging?
You already know how that go. Thank you to Aaron Kowalski. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you for chiming in. We appreciate the love. Always
better effort than my Nagoago ways or something.
Hey, you got me cussing with my mama on me, and I told you about that, man. Like, just cut it out. I can't do it. I'm trying not to cuss with my mama on this. And as I continue down, because one thing here on the Chicago Brothers podcast, if you said something, we're going to get you on here, and we're going to appreciate it, no matter how long it takes. The fact that you took the time to chime in, comment, like, subscribe, accept the alerts, all that. Scott already said, Scott J. Hopkins. Antonio Conchola, thank you for checking in. If I'm not mistaken, Frank, I'm going to give it to you for 2.2 seconds. Antonio is who's running our CCP Fantasy Football League, correct?
Yeah, I still got to get that going.
We are. Shout out to Antonio. Shout out. Big shout out. Round of applause. Get them hands clapping. Lemuel Lemonhead. Played for the Bears. You all know what this man did when he was in the black and blue division. You all understand how pivotal of a corner he was here with the Donnell Wolf and Sean Dale and them boys, and Mark Carrier. Shout out to my man, Lemuel Lemonhead Spencer. Thank you for coming in, brother. We appreciate you more. Love that. And then last but not least, I'm sorry. I'm lying. I don't mean to do that. Anthony McCoffey checking in. Amit Unterberger, that's your some of your people, Crazy Ace, we thank her for checking in, for sure. Roman Acevedo, another new name. Thank you for checking in. We appreciate you, Roman. Continue to like and subscribe and continue to show up, and we'll get you on one day. Yes,
that's my alter ego, my government name.
Well, you know what? Like, we get the governments out here. Hopefully, y'all ain't.
Antonio said, "Put some respect on his name."
Commissioner Antonio. My apologies, brother. He ain't running. Hey, he ain't running it. He running it. Commissioner. Thank you for checking in. I also got a shout out. I saw another new name. Hold on, because it is getting a little lengthy. Jennifer Acevedo.
That's Mrs. Crazy Ace up into his house, but like, hey, let's go.
Yes. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you liking, subscribing, and hope you come back. Jeff Ray, the Bears, thank you for chiming in. We appreciate you as well. And like I always say on the Chicago Clubhouse podcast, without you all, there wouldn't be us. There's not a lot of people that want to hear foolishness, banter, and just basically crap opinion. We appreciate you all spending this night with us and giving us your love and your time. It means more than you can ever imagine. So like my man Sal said, continue to like, subscribe. We will have bigger and better content, more guests. Look at some of our past videos. We've had Lance Briggs, Alex Brown. We've had Ricky Manning Jr. We've had Chris Hedges. We've had Warren Sapp. We've had Terry Cummings, Ricky Pierce. We've had, you name it, we damn near had it. And we
had Blake.
Yeah, Blake.
Yeah, Blake. He laid down some facts.
Hey,
damn.
Anybody want to hear some real? It's two that you want to watch. Jeff Blake and Dennis Silky D. McKinnon.
Yep.
You go watch those two, you'll be like,
info overload.
Oh, take notes. Again, thank you, love, and the last but not least, my P1. If we only have one person watching the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast, I know it's my mom, Miss Sandra Bonham Home. Thank you, Mom.
Mom of the podcast.
Mom of the podcast. You got more children. Sorry, wasn't my fault. But thank you, Mom. Love you. Peace. There.
Before you flip it over to T really quick, just a quick one, because I see a lot of people on the comment section. Facebook, try to flip over to YouTube first, and please like and subscribe on YouTube for us, because we are trying to move most of our cast over to YouTube now. So when you get a chance, please flip it over to YouTube. Go ahead, close it out, T.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna bring up the caboose. Pause.
Kabooty.
Shit. I killed him. Okay. Aside from the light fixture coming down, that was a pretty fun
That scared the hell out of me, man.
Did you hear? I said that was a pretty fun podcast. Fun. Okay, it's getting worn out a little bit. But I'm not gonna reiterate the whole chat. Everybody was in the chat tonight, so I can't.
That time of the season.
I can't even say all the names again. I'll just say we appreciate everybody that was in the chat. However, if you were in the chat and you did not comment, you are officially lurking.
L for love.
But we appreciate you anyway, because you take time to listen to our foolishness. And we had two guests on.
Leave that damn bug alone.
Black Sam and Crazy
Alex
Ace.
Brown, he's doing the gator.
We appreciate y'all, man. We really appreciate y'all and what you brought to the podcast tonight. It was a lot of fun.
I try to get Friday on here.
Yes. We will be at well, we were gonna go to Giordano's this weekend to have like a big podcast event, but I don't think that's working out. But we will try to eventually go to Hugh, maybe before the season starts. But I will let everyone know what we're doing. Shout out to Hugh. Shout out,
JB. What's up?
Shout out to In the Zone. Frank, did you show him the shirt? Show him the shirt, man. Show him the shirt.
You want me to take it off and model it?
No, we don't want you to do all that.
Pause.
So that's the In the Zone shirt.
You got to change the music. He's gonna start free modeling.
And no, it's not that kind of modeling, dog. It's not that kind of But yeah, so that's the shirt. Please order one. The turnaround time was terrible, but he said he fixed it. So it took one of our people like a month to get our shirt.
It was just a hoodie. It was the first hoodie that they made. Hopefully
it was the first one they made. So they had to design it and all of that. So it took a while, but it won't anymore. So we appreciate if everybody would jump on their website, order you a hoodie, order you a t-shirt, leggings for ladies. But hey, for dudes, if y'all roll like that.
Wait, what was the bet again?
Leggings. I ain't got to know about it. Because if I know about it, I'll put your ass on blast. But nah, get on there and order you some parrot. All right? Order you some swag, a drip, whatever you want to call it. Also, shout out to Moore's Beer. Thank you, JB. That's the new one. So that is the pear flavor. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. That's what, like fifth flavor. They have the porter, the sixth. They have the
session.
Okay.
IPA.
Okay.
Porter. Pilsner, the green one.
Okay, yeah.
The brown ale with Nat King Cole on the cover.
Right.
And now this one. So
okay, yeah. Okay, so 6. So I got 6 different flavors. Go check them out. They're at Benny's. They're in Whole Foods now. Shit, they moving up, man. They're in New York, actually. So if anybody is in New York, you want a beer, go to Whole Foods and get a Moore's beer, man.
Frank will do that on his OnlyFans. He will model the leggings on his
OnlyFans. I got an OnlyFans?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, OnlyFans? Whoa.
You got an OnlyFans, dog?
Gotta make that money. Gotta make that money.
Hey, gotta get that little change, huh?
That's the only way to see what Frank got in the tank. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, Bobby, you know.
I think that shit, I'm gonna wrap it up. I think I'm done with shout outs. JB got the violin tonight.
Oh, I got
you got the violin tonight.
It was for good reasons, though.
Yeah,
for good reasons, huh?
You're right. It was for good reason. It was for good reason, man. Hey, Fal, you forgot to tell us how you went to go see the Barbie movie. Was it a good movie?
I'm a Barbie girl living in a Barbie world.
Well, no, he got daughters, so that's allowed. He got daughters.
Yeah, I sure do. And I ain't gonna see that damn.
I let the
movie,
wife
man.
go the other day too.
Hold on, I'm calling you, Fal. We got to talk.
So I think that we're going to end the way we started today.
Look at you stalling and shit.
That's not coming.
I'm trying to find it.
I don't delete any of my shit.
No,
I got like
here it
500
is.
videos.
All right, we peacing out. See y'all later. We ending with this.
Come closer! Closer still! I'm in your living room!
Here comes the playoffs game, Pee-wee.
Hey, Pee-wee!
Hi, kids!
What's in our secret word, Pee-wee?
I don't know, Elvis. I was just going to ask Kage. Conky?
Conky 2000, ready to assist you. Pee-wee.
Good morning, Conky. What's today's secret word?
Today's secret word is
fun. Today's secret word is fun. Now, you all know what to do whenever anybody says a secret word, right?
scream.
That's right. For the rest of the day, whenever anybody says a secret word, scream as loud as you can. Let's try it. Ready? Hey, kids, how would you guys like to go outside and play with Terry?
That sounds like fun.
That sure was fun.
Could you really go outside and play with Terry?
Sure. That sounds like fun. Out the window. Woo!
What a fun podcast, man. A lot of fun. Fun! Fun! I guess my guys left me, so I guess I'm gonna peace out. So, thanks for showing up. Appreciate
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes.
Yeah, that's not any of my doings. So I don't know anything about that. But what I will say is that we do appreciate everybody jumping in here, and we are going to say good night. This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production. Peace out.